What it do? What it do? What it do? What it do? We in the building once again. Low to the game, boxing, and the co-host Dreeko Bay.
Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We gonna cook. We gonna cook tonight. We're gonna give it a little bit of time for some people to get in here. We got the goon on his way. Tonight I'm going against some of the big dogs, man. Some of the big dogs with all the subscribers is on, but we gonna plant our flag. We gonna
Yeah,
plant our flag here, man, and we gonna make it do what it do.
yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Just so you know, Drico. I just hope I hope that because I know sometimes you wear glasses, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
So I don't know, if you got your contacts in or you just wear readers or
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
But
I got those contacts in. We ready?
but but my avatar should tell you everything. My avatar should tell you everything and how it's going down.
Yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
it's going down today.
You on the boots in this training day?
Hey, hey, listen,
Okay.
listen. Drigo, I was one of the first people. I was one of the first people when it came to boots. I'm not a Johnny come lately.
Right.
You know, the person, Steve used to tell me about boots. He said boots could be Bud back in the day. I said, nah, nope. You know, I was where you was at. He need to
Uh
fight
huh.
more people. But then he started fighting more people.
Uh huh.
You know what I'm
Uh huh.
saying? That's what happened. He started fighting more people. And I started seeing more and more and more. Let me say what up to the chat. We got DP Rocker in the building.
Salute.
Black Boxing Kings in the building.
Salute.
Mr. Mechanical in the building.
Salute.
J Rod said, "What's up with the title, man? I don't know what's up with the title, man. If there's a typo, which I doubt, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's the
J
title is
Rod.
what the title is. You feel me?
J Rod.
SD Endo in the building.
Uh huh.
And Tease Alenegro. I don't. I'm gonna butcher that one, brother. You gonna have to whisper that one to me.
I butcher it all
AKA
the
Tease
time.
Boxing Spot is in here. Salute to the God.
Yeah.
JV. Salute to the God. It's so funny how, like EJ say tables turn. Cause we gotta keep the same energy, man. We gotta keep
He
the
doing all
same
the
oh
work.
look,
That's what happened when you freeze
the
out
bud
a
protection, look,
fella.
The BPC they here. They coming in. The
Yo,
BPC
yo, yo,
was
let's
good.
go. We
Was good.
want boots. We want boots.
Yes.
We
Dang!
want boots.
Y'all better get ahead of it. I like it.
We want boots.
I
We
like it.
want boots.
I like
Bring
it.
him
I
on.
like
We
it.
gonna fight boots. Since
I
niggas don't
like
want
it.
to fight boots,
Stay
we
ahead
gonna
of the
fight
curve.
boots. We want
Okay.
boots.
That's
No, he don't.
right.
We gonna knock him out,
I bet
and
you.
then they gonna say
Yeah.
it's
Nah.
Canelo and Mayweather again. I already know what it. I already know
Look,
where it's going with it.
look.
He was too
First
young
of
for
all,
it.
like I said earlier in my post, I bet anything Boots will go to Omaha and in under 8 rounds, he gonna be the illest
It
nigga in
don't
Nebraska.
matter what you say. We want boots right now.
Yeah, I don't want no
We
Boots.
want boots right now.
I don't even think
We
Team
want
Crawford
boots.
even drove past a shoe outlet since
Drake,
Boots
tell them who we
was
want, Drake.
mentioned.
Tell them who we
We
want,
want
Drake.
Who y'all
boots.
want?
We
You don't
want
want no
We
boots
J.
want
right now,
What
boots.
y'all want?
cuz.
What y'all want? Timberland boots? Chuckers?
Well, we
What
want
y'all want?
socks then. We want socks then.
Hey,
Okay.
We want
boots
socks
is the
then.
easiest route right now.
That's the easiest route.
It easiest route.
Easiest route.
Easiest route right now, baby.
And
Yo,
low
it's
reward. Low reward when we beat his ass. Low reward when we whoop that ass. Low reward. We was supposed to do that shit
I'm
anyway.
glad. I'm
Ain't no
glad.
coming back.
I'm glad y'all got. I'm glad y'all got more confidence than they do. Because I'm gonna tell you right now,
Bro, we
they
want
gonna try to.
boots.
They
We
gonna.
want
They,
boots, bro.
Boost
We
gonna
want
fuck.
boots.
Boost gonna fuck the
I
money
want to
up.
just see is he what y'all think he is.
Oh,
That's all I
And we
want to
want
do. I
boots.
want to see,
uh,
because if he fight him,
he ain't.
similar stuff. I don't know. I don't
I
know.
know he ain't fighting them.
All I'm saying is If they fight, we betting.
Oh,
I'm just telling you that.
yeah,
Okay,
fine,
yeah.
yeah,
If they
we could
fight,
do
we
that.
betting.
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah,
Easy,
if they fight, we betting.
easy. What we betting?
Whatever, bro. We
Okay,
bet whatever, bro.
I bet you 1,000.
Fuck
I
it.
bet you a
It's up
thousand.
there. Like fuck
Okay,
it. Win. I mean,
okay.
shit.
I
It
mean,
is what it is.
I'm
Ain't
I'm so not worried about the bet because first of all, I know he gonna duck him.
so is that the only bet that I get with that?
Whatever bet we
I
talking
mean,
about.
I'm just asking.
I'm just saying whatever bet we
Is
talking
that the
about.
only
Is there a
bet that I can get
stoppage?
like that?
What you mean? Like
Is that the only? I mean, it may be another fight on the floor before that one even happened. We don't know how it's gonna
what?
go. Like
EJ and Ugas?
EJ and Bud,
Oh yeah, sure,
EJ and Bud.
sure, sure,
You know that's I
sure.
want.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the
absolutely,
one I want right
absolutely.
there. That's
I'm
really
only
the one that I want.
for that. I'm only gonna bet with my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I
Oh,
ain't gonna
no
have
doubt,
to
no
deal with no
doubt, no doubt.
bullshit.
Not no other niggas.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet with my brothers. Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt, no doubt, no doubt,
Okay, but
absolutely.
You
look.
definitely gonna get it.
Hey,
We
listen.
gonna cross that bridge when we get
You gonna
there.
get all
That's
the
what I was just
action.
getting ready to say, and I hate I took that bet with Blue only because of the fact that I want to see that fight. You know what I always say.
Uh huh.
If it go past this day, I'm past it.
Right.
But
Right.
that wasn't the stipulations on that, so I got to hold true to that bet.
I tell you what. I bet you Josh Taylor looking real good in Scotland right now. I bet
Is
you
you gonna
because
bet me on that if they fight?
who are Bud and Josh
Josh
Taylor?
Taylor and Bud if they
Hell
fight.
no, I ain't stupid, man. I ain't got
Okay,
money to give
that's
away.
why I just want to know like how
Man,
far I can
I
go
look
with
like
these
I'm a damn
motherfuckers. Bet.
fool. I'm the one who
Oh,
picked Bud to stop Porter. Why in the hell would I some nigga that Regis Prograde lumped up like that? Why in the world would I bet against Bud against him? Hell no, I ain't
Why would you
stupid.
bet against Bud against Spence when old boy lumped up your boy? I'll be right back.
Matchups,
Body
well,
bag,
oh,
matchups,
body
matchups,
bag.
matchups, matchups.
Oh, now it's
Match-
matchup.
I know one thing. I know one thing. At the end of the 10th, at the beginning of the 10th round, Derrick James wasn't. No one was yelling at Spence. You losing in the corner. I know
They should
that.
have been. They should have been. They should have been
For
because
what?
he possibly was.
He
Because
wasn't losing.
possibly he
He
was.
wasn't losing.
it was a
They
That
tight
should
man
have
fight.
lost.
been.
That man lost eight. That man won. Sean Porter won 4 rounds out of that fight, and he got dropped in one. He got dropped in a round. But you
That
know,
was a tight fight.
it's always good. It's always good because everyone was waiting for Errol Spence to be in a tough fight or take some damage or whatever, and that's on
It
Earl.
was
But
tough.
yeah, no, listen, it was tougher than it needed to be, and I put that on EJ. But we back. We back. You know what I'm saying? His life, he had to
Yeah,
slow
we
down
here
on some
now.
things. He had to slow down on some things in life, and he back. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, we here now.
as you see, we take title shots as tune-ups. That's what we do over here.
Hmm.
Yeah, we take title shots as tune-ups.
Yeah,
You know,
I know.
I should pull out. I got my boots gear. I probably
I
should put
know.
something on. I probably should.
But
I probably
y'all
should put
mad.
something
Y'all
on.
mad at us because we took Horn.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
probably
yeah,
mad because
yeah.
yeah, because I should put on my Gucci, my boots Gucci hoodie. You know what I'm saying? I blessed y'all with that before.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
look, man,
yeah, yeah.
we just gonna cook, man. We gonna keep it real, man. Everyone's
What the
occupied,
chat
brother.
saying? I don't got my other phone.
Let's run through the chat. JV said EJ doing all the work, but need to fight Boots. The BPC is in the house. Absolutely.
We ain't got. I don't think it's time for
Look at it,
Boots. I
look at
want him
this.
to
Look at
fight
this. J
Boots right
Rod. Look
now.
at this. J Rod. I'm pretty sure, right? Bud has no business fighting Boots. His turn isn't up yet. LOL. Dreeko need reinforcements. Oh, you see, they already know what time it is. Because I mean, I'm not 1,000% sure, but I would bet some money that J Rod was part of the narrative last week that Spencer's in the corner. He need to either fight Boots or Bud. I'm pretty sure he was part of that. Oh, right. We
Boots
gotta keep the
ain't.
same
What-
I don't.
energy.
I don't. Boots ain't.
I
Boots
just
ain't
came
ready,
back. What
man.
is this? The Bud fight. What's the name thing first?
He
Or Spence?
yeah,
What is
yeah,
it?
he said Bud has no business fighting Boots. His turn isn't up yet. Well, I guess Jose Benavides' turn was up, wasn't it? Was his?
So I did come on that subject. Bud should fight Boots.
Yeah, that's what we. This what we talking. That's what we talking about.
Well, why we weren't talking about it the other way before this?
We had options,
Oh,
right? And if you remember what I said was he need to fight Bud. You know, when the WBO, when the WBA said, you know, they wasn't going to entertain the fight, and they was doing the standing, you know, the standing owners, the tournament and all that stuff. I said, well, there's nowhere to go. He need to fight Bud. You know, he said no tune-up. That's the fight we need next. That's what I said, right? I said that. Okay.
No,
Okay, I did. So, you know, now, see, this is why I don't understand. Let me just get through the chat real quick. T said in the Facebook group, I'll say it again. If he can beat Boots, he can move up and beat Charlo and take those belts. Yeah. The only thing he gonna be flatline, he go see Boots. Boots a better switch fighter. I would agree. Personally, that's my opinion. That's just my opinion. I believe so. What you think, Dreek? Or do you need to watch some more film?
Oh, he said the film part.
I haven't. I seen Boots, but I haven't studied him like that because there's nothing to study. I mean, I look good. Would look good, and Goon would look good against the people that he boxed so far.
Oh, okay.
So I need to see him get through some adversity. I bet you
Jose Benavidez wouldn't have went no 12 rounds with no damn when it lasted that long. He would have got him right up out of there.
He probably would have took Mikey out too.
Oh, he probably would have. He would have took Mikey out without a doubt. See, because Boots and Terrence Crawford, what I respect about both of these guys is they gym rats. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any habits. They didn't, you know, temporarily lose their mind when they start getting the bag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta get those guys. I gotta give that's giving guys their credit.
That's real.
I'm giving them their credit. You know, we don't do
everybody ain't no gym rat, bro.
These guys is gym rats. Well, Earl is a gym rat. He was a gym rat, but you know, sometimes your direct deposit, you show up with an extra zero. You know, when that shit, you might make you turn a little crazy for a minute.
My direct deposit didn't do it, and I was supposed to run this morning.
You know what I'm saying? So I salute those brothers. You know, I salute their work ethic. You know what I'm saying? I salute everything about them as fighters. Both of them. I don't hate on Bud Skills.
This what I don't get about you though. This what I don't get about you. And I love you, my brother, but
they go
if
Bud.
you feel the same way that I feel, we want Earl and Bud, dog. Like me, I want it for all the belts. Like,
it's coming. That's what we're setting up.
The thing is, when you saying Boo's gonna knock him out, why would you want him to fight him if you feel that he gonna knock Bud out?
Listen,
I'm just saying. Look. You want him to do the heavy lifting for Earl?
Has he done any heavy lifting? What heavy lifting has he done so far? No, wait. Hold on a second. And
y'all crowning him, and he did no lifting. Y'all crowning him.
Yeah, but what heavy lifting has Bud done?
Bud
ain't fought one person he asked to fight since he came to 147.
He fought everybody that he's supposed to fight, I guess.
No, he fought everybody that they.
The same way
he gave. He fought everyone that they gave.
We could point on Earl's career. He fought nobody different than Keith Thurman, but motherfucking damn Hill. Like if you really like from the top, motherfuckers. Like,
but guess what?
And Thurman beat him first. So like,
hey, and that's true.
Yeah, so I'm not even on that. I'm not on that.
That's true, but those guys were the best in the division, and if we gonna keep it 100, when Earl was in Boots shoes, he couldn't get none of those guys to fight, and he went and got a belt, and those guys still didn't want to fight him. He had to go wait for a big name like someone with some heart, like Mikey Garcia actually fought him. Called him out and fought him.
But the same way you saying that, you gotta say the same for Bud, bro. Like I know it hurt you to say it because you don't want to do that, but it's the truth. It gotta be the same for both fighters, bro.
Listen,
there was a time when them dudes wouldn't even fight Bud. Like Sean Porter could have been fought Bud.
Look,
he didn't want that fight back then.
But he made his decision where he wanted to lay his head. and that's the
Yeah,
price that come
you gotta
with it.
respect that. Yeah, you
That's
gotta
the
respect
price
that.
that come with it. You know what I'm
But
saying?
at the same time, you giving one a pass and you're not giving the other one a pass.
I'm not giving. Listen, I'm not giving anyone a pass. I'm just going over what happened, and
Mhm.
the truth of the matter
But you said
is,
nobody wanted to fight Earl, which is
yeah,
true. I agree
right.
with you.
But here's the difference, right? When Terrence Crawford showed up at 147, Bob Arum came out and said he didn't want to fight with none of those guys. They wasn't elite. He said
He
Porter
wanted
wasn't
Earl.
elite.
He wanted
Right.
Earl.
So
With
my
Dreeko,
question is then,
you called
what
him
are we
already.
talking about? Keeping the same energy for both.
No,
Uh,
you have to, bro, because what you're saying that nobody wanted to fight Spence, and I'm agreeing with you. I'm really agreeing with you. Like, yeah, but at the same time, when Bud came up, it was motherfuckers didn't want to fight him either. So, like, why is it that one can get that and the other one can't get it? It has to be approved.
because his team came into the division stating that they didn't want those fights. He's saying one thing.
He's
Bob
fought
Arum said,
PBC fighters before,
yeah,
though.
but listen to what I'm saying. He's saying one thing, and Bob Arum is saying something completely different. He's saying that Bob, get me all the champions, make the fights happen. And Bob Arum on the flip side is coming out and
Can you
saying
make that happen?
those guys are an elite. We only want Errol Spence. So
We know what that is, though.
uh, it's cap.
Yeah, I mean, we ain't gonna argue on that.
Right. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying we can't keep the same energy because one person was asking to fight all of those people, and the other person was generalizing. He wanted champions, and then his promoter who chose his path was saying that he wasn't going to make those fights because they wasn't worth it. And then on the flip side of it, turn around and offer Danny Garcia $3 million, and then turns around and offers Amir Khan like $6 billion. Someone Danny Garcia knocked out 3, 4, 5, 6 fights ago. So
Yeah, but they not the same. I mean, if you talk about the numbers like you do, you got to keep it a band-aid on that now. Like, would you fight Amir or Danny? Like, that ain't even no comparison, bro.
back then I'd have fought Danny Garcia. Amir
No,
Khan
you're
just
saying
got
back
knocked.
then. We're talking about at the time when they fought.
That's what I'm talking about because it's
He
so far
offered
back
Danny.
then.
He offered Danny to fight. Remember, he sent the offer. See,
No,
this is what
he
I'm
no
talking
he
about.
no he no. Let's get that
We
straightened
only
out.
can go off of what we hear, bro, because we
But he
none of
didn't
us.
send. But he didn't send. Listen, but he didn't send the offer to Al Heyman. He sent the offer to Danny Garcia's
That
pops.
is that. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like when people be like, this, that, and the other, and he sent this guy sent this, that.
Dog, we don't know. And you made the comment one time, and I agreed with you, but nobody really didn't go on it. When these contracts get sent, we don't know who get them, bro. Like, I can be real with you. I done been in the gym when the faxes come through with the contracts on there, bro. And them
Mhm.
shits be on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got insight on this shit that motherfuckers don't even for real. And I
Mhm.
know how shit can happen. Like the wrong motherfucker could pick it up. And it never got to the person that it was supposed to go, so it can work both ways
Right.
with the
Right.
contract. Like I've
No,
seen this shit
I
firsthand. I've seen
listen. I feel that, but the fact is that shit got reported. It wasn't
it. It
sent to
did.
Al Heyman. It was sent to Angel Garcia. Why you sending your contract to the fucking Birdman? What he gonna do with that shit?
Mm.
Danny.
I mean, but
What was he
it's
doing?
ways you can look at that shit. Why would you send a contract to Bomac?
I
That's
mean, Bomac,
I mean,
Bomac, his manager. Ain't Bomac the one
right,
who
right.
brokered his deal?
That's what I'm saying though. Like that, like that's like if you send that motherfucker to Kenny Porter, it's just like you know what I'm saying. Like they trying to get this shit done. You would
Said
think.
it. I mean, ain't he a boss? Didn't he make a fight with Floyd and Pacquiao? You tell him he don't got PBC fax office, the number or something?
No, 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 no. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying like shit can happen.
Yeah.
Maybe Dan oh boy didn't want his son to fight. But you ever thought about that?
I listen. That's a possibility, and I believe it's a possibility because
It gotta be.
PBC at that time wasn't going to give them any fights. They
Mm-hmm.
they had their own plan in house, which is what all people have. Which is why I go back to
That's the problem.
right. Which is why I go back to. It's not a you get like don't sit around and complain about the game. You know you got to beat the game. So if the business has changed, why you signing with Bob if you want certain fights? if you want certain fights, I mean,
I can
listen,
agree with you,
they
bro. You would
they in
not see me disagree with that.
they're in the business. They're legit in the business. So, I mean,
I
Timothy
agree.
Bradley came out and said when he was pressed about not fighting Errol Spence when the WBC mandated the fight and he retired, he said, "Since when were we doing business with Al Heyman and PBC?"
But
And
yeah, I feel
that
you.
predates all of this stuff.
A long time ago. Yeah.
So if you wanted these
But
fights,
it been like that though. It been like that before these two fighters. Remember,
hmm
Kovalov and Superman was supposed to fight. I mean, this shit was going on for a minute, bro. Like with all these different promoters and all that.
yeah, but
And it
when you
was mostly Bob. I ain't gonna lie. It was mostly Bob not wanting to do business because he had all the fighters at the time. Because
mhm.
he did.
So, all I'm saying is we can't be mad at the fighters and say fighters is ducking and all this stuff when these suits is holding shit up and doing dumb shit, and they having their own war
Well,
in
we can
between each
act
other.
like fighters not wanting to fight too in the same thing. Just like everybody want to throw boots on Bud right now. And I'm
We,
cool with seeing it. Like, cause nigga, I just want to see the best fight the best.
but here's my question: what do you mean by throw boots on Bud? Like,
Because you know
define that
exactly
for
what I
me.
mean. You know, that's why the wording is keep the same energy. I'm smart enough to figure that out because everybody was like, well, yo, this supposedly, I don't know about the mandatories and all that. I
hmm
ain't even looked at it. But
hmm
from what I gathered just from just general shit,
hmm
the Spence fans took, I guess, a certain type of way with it because it was a threat. That's a threat because it's a threat on both sides. Because a lot of people saying that Boots go beat both of them. I'm one that don't feel that way, but a lot of
hmm
people saying it, and they saying it a lot of different ways. My thing is, I just want to see that motherfucker fight somebody that we don't think that he gonna beat.
So then my question is, why would you word it as we're throwing him on Bud? I
Because
mean,
I just said what I said because y'all didn't want him to fight your boy.
but
So
things
I'm
have
cool with that. I'm cool with it.
things have
I'm
but
cool
here's the
with it.
thing, Goon, right? Things have changed since the last time we spoke, right?
What changed?
Not
You
just
either wanted him to fight him or you didn't.
no, a lot of things have changed. Think about this. When this was said, everyone was under the impression that the WBA was going to have day tournament, and
Right? Yep.
Ugas was out of the picture. The
That's
W,
true.
no title shot was in the picture, right? Dreeko had been campaigning for over a year about how important Ugas was and how he felt that Terrence Crawford missed his opportunity to fight Ugas when I don't really feel like he had an opportunity, but I don't know. My point is there was value in Ugas.
Right. Yeah.
Dreeko see the value in Ugas, right? And
Okay.
if that fight wasn't going to happen between Spence and Ugas, then there really wasn't anyone I wanted to see him fight. It's like, okay, yeah, fight your mandatory or fight Crawford, and I stood on that. I didn't say, oh, he need a tune up. Oh, he could fight someone else, and
My brother,
like
I feel you, but I know what I see.
you
I
know.
feel what you're saying,
I
but
know.
I know what I see.
I feel that too. That you know what you see,
Yeah.
but it's us
Yeah.
talking. So
Yeah. Yeah. But
we
like,
can't. I
yeah.
can't speak for what
But we
everyone.
gotta, but we gotta address that too. Like, I'm man enough to be like, dog, I see where you coming from, like,
Right.
because I do. But you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I listen. I definitely know what you're talking about. But what I'll say as well is that we got to be in the present. You know, first let's talk about how great of an advisor and a manager Al Heyman actually is. We there's a constant thing that we're seeing, right? Even with the Canelo, how there's adversity and make it getting a fight made. Negotiations will break down. The sanctioning body will say we're doing something completely different, and somehow Al Heyman uh makes something happen out of it. They recoup. They make a strategy. They make a plan. Even from what Dreeko was talking about with Manny, how he was trying to get the belt back. This man actually works for his clients. He does a superb job for his clients. It's not his fault. What he doing for his client is fucking over the opposition. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do in business. So Al Heyman did a great. He did a great job. whether he got standing on his step aside money or whatever. They're trying
Yeah,
to
but
get to a
that was,
big
but Kwame, but
undisputed
that was
fight.
easy though. But Kwame, that was easy though. Like I feel what you're saying. Like for his side of the street and everything, of course, it's gonna be easy as fuck to make that happen because he got all the fighters or whatever. But let's talk about when you gotta make cross negotiations or whatever.
Hmm.
I won't give him the same credit that you're giving him. Would you give him the same credit?
Uh,
Real
I
shit.
I would I would, but just not with Bob because it's just too
Okay,
much
I get it because
stuff
he's
in
okay. I
between
get it.
them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
No,
saying? Like Conor McGregor came in from MMA with Dana White, and they walked out of negotiation from Dana
with a
White
bag.
said no. They walked out saying, "Man, this was such a pleasant process." They even
Mhm.
said if there was an issue with making a fight between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, it wasn't from this end. That's how well and how the energy was for them to make such a big money fight. It got done, you know.
Yeah.
But there's always something on the other side. There's always leakage of purses. There's always something going on in the media. There's, Kell Brook wanted too much money. This person wanted this. There's always something going on that side for Bob Arum. That's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? And then when he don't get his way, then what he do is he say, people don't exist, or they're cancer, or a fighter is scared, or
We know it. That's that privilege, bro. We know what
right.
that is.
Right. And I
That's
don't
that.
and I don't buy it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That
I'm not gonna sit up and buy what he's selling because
Mhm.
look, if I want to do business with you, if you got a business that can help me out in my business, I'm not gonna sue you and then call you and say, hey, let's do business. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just basic
No,
stuff.
but listen, you know what? And you're right, bro. But at the same time, you have to look at it the other way. Is if you didn't fucked up a potential bag that I had with an icon because those don't come around often. So you got to look at it from that perspective. Like, even though I know how you look at it, because you're like, well, dog, business is business, and I might have to come around and do business with you. You got some people that are like, no, period, or whatever, and you got to respect that the same
Right.
way.
They
You
did
have to.
business
Like, it's
they
real
they,
shit.
they did business with Floyd because Floyd got all that damn money from Showtime and he only had two fights left. So they knew. They said
Hmm.
it's now or never.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
It's
You're right.
now or never.
That's
And that's
true.
what they pulled the trigger on that. But after pulling the trigger, they sued homeboy.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
after Manny Pacquiao lost, the way that they said at the postcard, they was mad because they wasn't in control of everything, and that was the problem.
That's what it all boiled down to, though.
And it's all about, that's what I'm saying. It's all about power, and what I hate to see is that the fighters take that shit personal, like it's personal to them because it ain't personal to the fighter.
No, it
It's
is. It is. That's the way they feeding their fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. No matter what we all think, I think that Bud would have made more money off the Pacquiao fight than if him and Spence can get this shit going on. So, like millions is life changing money, bro. Like, I don't know
oh,
about
without a doubt.
how y'all shit is set up, but like, you feel what I'm
Shit,
saying?
it ain't set up like that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's my
saying?
point
Yeah.
exactly. So, like, all the millionaires that I know, because I do know some, they want more. They want more millions, bro. So, like, I don't know. Everybody
I
think different.
Go ahead, Drake.
I
We can't hear you,
both
brother.
of
I ain't hear
y'all.
you.
I think
Yeah, I don't know. It's something up with your connection or something.
Come out and come back in.
Yeah, you
we
cutting.
because
You
We'll
cut.
wait on you. Come back
Yeah,
and
we
come back
waiting.
in.
We're waiting on you cutting in and out.
yeah, I've been trying to get it
And
right.
it's going
Okay.
up.
Yeah, it seems like it's your internet connection because you're not coordinating with. You know,
It's coming in, and then it's like,
he. I know Dreek was on the road today. He was in Brooklyn, Nebraska. So that's what
he's,
happened.
no,
That's what
he's.
happened when he got his Omaha connection on today.
Y'all be killing me with that shit. Blu-ray was like, we're gonna put a fund up for
But yeah, we got to do a cash. We got to do a
Yo, I
GoFundMe
was
for Dreeko's.
dying,
We
bro.
got to do a GoFundMe for Dreeko's modem and router.
That shit was funny as hell, dog.
We gotta do a GoFundMe for Dreeko's modem.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying?
I
But
need to. I wanted to hear what he was gonna say. What you think he was gonna say?
uh, I don't know. It was probably going. It's probably going to be. His voice sounded sincere, but he probably was going to say something crazy. Yeah.
You think he's stupid. You stupid, bro.
His voice sounded sincere, but Dreeko thought process sometimes because Dreek said, I've never drank or smoked or any of this stuff. But
Yeah.
sometimes I'd be like, Dreeko be off in fairyland with some of
Hey,
his
listen,
ideas.
let's address this shit, bro. Let's address
Okay.
this shit. I get messages on Facebook and shit that I was looking sad last night, y'all. Dog. I promise y'all, I was not looking sad. I wasn't trying.
Oh, you
You know what
wasn't
I'm saying?
trying, but you was looking sad.
Yeah, bro. Like they said that, bro. Like real shit. I be up. I don't really get a lot of sleep, and that was a fight night. We had boxing Friday and Saturday, so I was just up for a minute, but I wasn't sad because that's the fight I wanted from the gate. I was like, this is the only way that this shit can happen. I'm not invested in this fight past 2022.
Right.
Not like I'm not. I'm not, man. I'm not. I'm not gonna Mayweather Pacquiao this shit, bro. I'm not the one for it. So that's the fight that I wanted to happen because I feel that the fight that I want to see can happen at the end of the year. So nah, bro. I wasn't mad at all, bro. Shit, I want him to fight Boost next. Shit, like I just want to see what everybody else see, bro. Like, you got an opinion, I got an opinion.
Look, all I'm saying, right? This ain't coming from for me. It's not coming from a place of I'm throwing boots on Bud. I'm
It may
not
not
throwing.
be you, but it's
Yeah, yeah, but
yeah,
I'm just gonna
yeah.
tell you my opinion.
That's
Everyone,
why, that's
because
why I love you
you
for it.
know how it go. You
Yeah.
state your opinion that may not
Yup.
agree with mine, and other people are gonna make their own variation of it. You know what I'm
Yup.
saying? I'm not. We can't be in control of that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say is that uh, right now he's the best available opponent.
It's a couple.
No, it's him. He's the best available opponent.
You
Period.
don't like you don't like Ortiz at all, bro? Like
Ortiz got a fight. Ortiz they announced Ortiz got a fight date and an opponent.
Oh, really?
Yes.
When?
Today. Matter of fact, that's
Oh,
what I'm
I
going to.
definitely didn't see it. If it
Oh
was a date,
yes,
I
sir. Yes, sir. Let
it's
me
just a date, no opponent,
yeah,
TBA.
yeah. Hold on a second. I got you. Virgil Ortiz.
Well, yeah, that's the best opponent.
Yeah, that's
Him
what
or
I'm.
Keith? Yeah, him or Keith?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Here we go. Virgil Ortiz.
Where you at, Drake?
Uh, he changing the 10 foil on his roof so he can get that connection.
You ain't shit for that.
I know. I really ain't. I really ain't. I really ain't. Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus Michael McKinnison is in the works for early 2022,
In the work. So nah. So
respectively by the WBO. So the WBO and this fine gentleman standing next to Virgil Ortiz did an interview
mhm.
where he stated that when he was asked about Virgil Ortiz fighting Boots Ennis right away, he said, "Y'all need to keep the same energy for Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence." Who does that in an interview? We're asking
Wait a
you
minute.
about.
Wait a
We're
minute.
asking.
What?
That's exactly what he said.
He said what?
He said. He said, "Well, what about us getting Virgil Ortiz versus uh Jerron Boots Ennis?" He said, "Well, y'all need to y'all need to keep the same energy for Spence and Bud Crawford fighting."
They
Like,
ain't asked you that though.
right, that's my point. So what that lets you know is
You
that
don't want them to
they're
fight.
waiting for
Shit to clear
someone
out.
to clear out. And
Yeah.
he said in the future they see a fight with Boots. So that's not gonna happen, brother. That
Mm,
fight is not gonna happen no time soon. And the
mm,
difference is Boots management is saying something completely different. They
okay.
saying The best need to fight the best. The young guns, the top young guns need to fight the top young guns. The champions need to fight the champions. You know, and Boots Ennis is already on record saying he would take $1 million to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. When
Yeah.
Sean Porter was lowball, he said, "I'll take the million." You know, so
Now you know that could work both ways too. Now,
okay, how?
you remember your boy Eubanks. Until you do that, then nigga be like, okay, and call you out on that shit. Not saying that he would, because I would hope that he wouldn't cap like that. But you know, we have seen fighters do shit like that.
Oh yeah,
I'll take
absolutely.
the fight, and then they come and they like, you know, and it don't happen. That's the reason why Kell Brooks stepped in to fight Triple G. It was a Eubanks cap. Remember?
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah, he capped a couple of times, bro. And then they called him out on it, like, okay, you want the smoke? Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I don't want it.
So all I'm saying is,
Drake say send
send the link again.
to
Oh no, here we
check
go. Here we go.
yeah. Okay.
Here we go. Yeah, you moving it. You moving in real time now, Dreek.
Okay, cool.
They're using the Matrix for a minute. You was dodging bullets.
Man, I kicked over my what is that called? My
Router.
yeah, I kicked over my router and it turned off on me, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It was
router
evident it
be
was a
like
connection issue.
I was struggling over here,
Yeah,
man.
it's evident. So here's a so Ring Magazine, right? With their belt, Jamel Charlo got the Ring Magazine belt because he fought Rosario, and they considered them 1 and 2. So Ring Magazine normally step in and put their belt up when they feel like the cream of the crop at the top are fighting, and that belt will get thrown in there. When Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao was about to fight, um, they were putting the belt on the line because they said that Crawford and Spence wasn't going to happen. So that was one. That was going to be 1 versus 2, and so now Ring Magazine ratings is they have Terrence Crawford ranked 1 in the welterweight division, Errol Spence ranked 2, Ugas ranked 3, Boots
Ring
ranked
Magazine.
4th. Huh?
You said Ring Magazine?
Ring Magazine. I'm trying to find their rankings.
Wow,
Their rankings now. Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, they have Crawford 1, Spence 2, Ugas 3, Boots 4, Virgil Ortiz 5. That's the order they have, the welterweights. And I could agree with that. I can't argue with it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I respect about Ring Magazine in a way, is that they're not going to keep somebody at the top like pound for pound forever. They're going to change it based on activity and what
Or
people
earn
have
it.
just accomplished.
Or
You
earn
know
it.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I could appreciate that about Ring Magazine. But out of all those people that we just named in the top 5 of Ring Magazine, there's only 2 of them that's free.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's Crawford and Boots,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And let me
It
tell you
don't always
something.
work like that though, bro.
It don't, but I'm just saying he got to keep the same. His team got to keep the same energy. I'm not saying Terrence Crawford is scared. I don't believe that. I don't see scared in Terrence Crawford.
Nah, hell no.
But
Definitely not
but
that.
but, but what I will say is I feel like there's going to be major apprehension to take that fight because
I
they
mean,
smart business.
bro, it's an unknown.
Yeah,
It's an unknown. Like we see what we see. That's an unknown. Like it's just like when Bud came to 147 and I'm listening to BF and them say that he should have went straight to Spence, and I'm like, that makes no sense. Like, you feel what I'm saying? To
no,
me,
I understand. I understand what you're saying. I think that'd
yeah,
have been
like we
total
gotta
miss.
see can he handle. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta be, but listen. I understand your premise going, and I would have to say it's total. That would be total mismanagement if that
Right.
happened, right? Like you would look at his team and say, "What the hell was y'all doing? Why would you take you know, the guy from 140 and Thurman was the toughest guy at that time and the biggest guy immediately.
Even if you believe he could do it though, like that's
Right.
it's
Well,
But
ballsy.
that whole
but
thing was a misconception anyway, because he couldn't
mhm,
have. You only the WBO is the only one that allowed for a fighter to move up and challenge for that title. All the rest, you had to petition and fight your way up. So the WBO was the only one. So that was a
It was easy.
misconception that was out there.
well,
It took me a
actually,
minute, but I
a-
regrouped and I,
no,
I learned. I
actually,
went, I
actually,
home did my
actually,
home.
no, actually, that's not accurate. The WBO does make you an automatic mandatory when you're the super champion. It's an
Right,
automatic
super
mandatory,
champion.
but because when you're undisputed, you have at that time the power to choose anyone. And the WBC was also free. Earl didn't have the WBC. I understand what people talking about with the IBF. They mandated that he fought Lipman at 140 and he dropped it, but he still but he wasn't at 140. He was at 147. He still could have petitioned the IBF. And trust me, the IBF would have said yes. He was
Yeah,
undisputed.
We don't know that though. They could have easily made him fight or
yeah,
put him in a box off and placed him fifth, and then make
yeah.
him
But
fight
the
his way
thing
up to the
is,
top.
he's like, who would do that though? Like,
Yeah, I want
you
the
know,
for
like
sure shot. So
straight to the top
saying,
guy. Like that's
yeah,
ballsy, bro. Like
Yeah, but
even
but
if
people
you
do
try to
that.
do it, yeah, you can do it. But like, I
Mikey
don't
did it.
understand why he getting criticized for doing it the way that he did it.
I'm
Like
I'm not criticizing him for it, but
a lot of people do.
yeah, but he got to hold some heat for that. And the reason why I'm going to say he got to hold some heat for that because out of Terrence Crawford's own mouth, he said he was calling out Errol Spence's 140. He been wanting to fight him. That's out of his own mouth.
But y'all get upset because y'all say he don't hold the same energy for everybody else. I understand it. Like maybe he feel like dog is a top dude and everybody else is beneath him. Like I'm
well,
not saying that's what he's saying, but he's going after the top guy. That's the motherfucker he want.
then we got to keep it
He went
100
at,
too,
listen. He went
because
after the guy that made the most sense. It was most convenient, and I don't have a problem with that.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
well, yeah, he and we got to keep it honest too. They both was chasing Keith Thurman at that time. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's why
Everybody.
they say, go get a belt and come back and I'll holler at you from Earl. You know what I'm
Right, but Keith
saying?
Thurman was hurt though.
Yeah, but they both was chasing him.
But
Earl
Thurman
ain't.
was the division at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
He,
He had
he
both
had
belts at
he
that
had both
time.
belts, bro. Real
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, he was doing it. That's all the way 100. That's about as 100 as I can get, y'all. What is Google doing over there?
Yeah,
All kind of shit.
yeah. So yeah, so look, I don't have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with what route they went with. I mean, it makes sense. Bob, Manny Pacquiao, Jeff Horn, WBO.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, I'm not calling it a duck. You know, but what happens is you open yourself up to shit when you start saying,
Mm-hmm.
"I called this person out ever since 140." That you then you leave the door open for shit like that. You know,
Yep,
I'm not gonna get.
yep. I understand.
I'm not gonna get on here and cat and be like, oh yeah, he ducked him. He ducked him. You know, that's BF opinion. That's BF opinion. He got
Yeah,
an opinion like
that's
me. I
his shit.
respect his
Yeah,
opinion.
that's his opinion. Yeah,
You
you got
know,
to
I
take it the
respect
same
his
way.
opinion. I'm not saying that that's my opinion, but
Mm-hmm.
I respect his opinion. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason why I have to respect his opinion is because they open the door for shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so all I'm saying is right now Jerron Boots Ennis, like the so people are seeing his value. All the sanctioning bodies got him in the top five, four.
Bruh,
I
I'm
have no problem with
campaigning.
it. Yeah, I
I'm
don't have no problem.
campaigning for TC to whoop the shit out of Boots, bruh. I
I
think
am like one
TC
of them got
would,
to whoop each other, bro. For real.
yeah. I think TC will beat his ass from pillar to post, from corner to
It
corner.
it could possibly go both ways, bro. Like I'm being real. I'm being real, but the thing is, for me, I know I feel like Kwame, you get offended when I say this, but I'm just being real because people say the same exact thing for Bud. They just want to see him in there with somebody, bro. Like we understand you get who you got,
Right,
real shit. But
right.
dude, everybody putting this special thing on him, and yes, he has all the tools for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to see him do that against a nigga that got the tools that he got, and I don't think that's not unfair.
It's
I
tough.
don't.
No, and that's cool, but it's tough when you can't get fights too.
Yeah, yep, yeah,
It's also tough. Same
yeah,
thing go for what you said with
for
Bud.
sure,
Same thing go for
for sure,
Spence in the beginning.
for
It's
sure.
tough to show that shit when you can't get fights. So what you got to do is
I
you got
agree.
to become
You do what
motherfuckers
you got to do.
mandatory.
You got to do
Spence
what you got to
Spence
do.
stayed on. Listen, Spence stayed on his square. Spence stayed on his IBF square.
Hmm.
He forced it. He kept saying Kell Brook. He ain't say no one else's name. He kept saying Kell Brook, Kell Brook, Kell
That's
Brook.
true.
He went up the rankings.
That's true.
The top guys in the IBF, they left. They had to go find Bundle for the title eliminator.
Yep.
Bundle was the only one with some heart. So listen, Boots got to find his own way like that. But all I'm saying is, if you the pound for pound best in the world, you believe in yourself and all this and all that, look, you got all the knockouts, you got the
Hmm.
wins, you just did something
Hmm.
Sean Porter ain't do. You should be on an
Hmm.
all-time high. And the
Hmm.
same way you was able to give a Jose Benavidez, who's an
Hmm.
undefeated fighter, a shot, who didn't
Hmm.
have to go to get a mandatory to fight you.
Right.
What's up, Boost? What's up? I mean,
Right.
because it's like, who else? Josh Taylor
Right.
scheduled for a fight.
Right.
Keith Thurman scheduled for a fight.
Right.
Errol Spence is scheduled for a fight.
Right.
Virgil Ortiz is scheduled for a fight.
Right.
Who else? So who else?
I get it. I get
Who,
it.
who
But,
else?
but but listen, I get it. But why now? Why now?
Because the circumstances
Because just
are.
like 3 weeks ago, we wasn't here. 2 weeks ago, we wasn't here. Like, see,
Yeah,
this is what I'm talking about. We gotta keep it the same, bro.
yeah, but we have
You got a
different.
great point, bro.
But
You
we
got a
have
point.
different. Yeah, but we have
Why
different
now?
circumstances with Spence
The
getting.
circumstances is circumstances, bro.
Yeah, but it's
The
different though.
circumstances was they could have signed that fight on that side too before this one. No matter what they say about the contract and all that, I don't care about all that. That fight could have been signed, but I didn't want to. Even though I didn't want to see him in Boots fight, the fight. This is the quickest way to get to the fight that I want to see, in my opinion.
Right.
But they could have signed to fight that dude, so like that really don't hold no weight.
Yeah. No, look, I could agree with that. However,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the present and fights listen, fights don't just get made overnight. There's, teams are
True.
working hard, reaching out to different camps, negotiating behind the scenes, shit is quiet, stuff is announced, right?
Right.
And at this point, we are where we are. Like it ain't just like throwing Boots on Bud. It's like, who else is there in today for today? Because we can only talk about today. Yesterday done. So today it's like,
Who,
realistically, who else is there?
who who's to say that he got a fight right now?
Well,
So
I
it's
mean,
no Mando right now saying that you got to make negotiations like it was reported right now.
right,
Who's
right,
to say that he has to fight right now? He could stand and wait and see who win this fight between Dog and Spence and wait.
right.
Who's saying that he has to fight right now, or is it that we want to push him
Now,
to fight
okay,
who we
so
want to fight
now,
right now?
so I'm glad you said that, right? I'm
I'm just
glad you
being
said,
real.
and I'm glad you said that. Now, when Terrence Crawford uh said, well, when Keith Thurman came out, because Terrence Crawford didn't say it, Keith Thurman came out and said he'll fight Terrence Crawford. He said, "Give me 8 months." Right?
Yeah,
People jumped
you
down his
don't need it.
throat. Bud said, "Oh, look, he need 8 months and all this stuff." Right?
You need that
So,
shit,
so
bro.
we look. It's December, and we gonna count the months. It's December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. That's 8 months. That's
Mm-hmm.
8 months from now. Right? Will be
Mm-hmm.
July.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, if Terrence Crawford waits for Earl Spence, let's think about this. Earl Spence, we're talking about
It's
him
gonna be longer.
possibly fighting in March.
It's gonna be longer.
So we already know those fights. After normally PBC fighters
I
fight
get it.
twice a year,
I get it.
right? So
Mhm.
for March, we say April, May, June, July.
Mhm.
That's 4 months,
Look how
right?
long he ain't fighting COVID though.
Right. But I'm saying we not in that. I'm talking about we don't know what's going on with the world. It's crazy. They could shut shit down tomorrow. We don't know.
That's
But I'm
true.
just
Somebody
saying,
gonna have a short schedule in between fights if they want to
Yeah,
match up, because now their
right,
schedule is off.
right. So
right,
that's why their
right.
fight
That's
will
what
be
I'm saying.
late.
Like he don't have to fight nobody right now. He can stand pat
Yeah,
if
but
he knew that he
is he
gonna
gonna
get
wait to
that fight
fight?
back.
So what he gonna do? Wait to fight Earl? Because if he wait to fight Earl, I would
No,
say,
no. Listen to what I'm saying. It makes total sense to me. If he know that that fight can get made because we don't got Bob right now, and it's a greater chance that fight can get made, he
Mhm,
don't gotta fight right now, bro. He can wait to see what happened on that because think about it. Most fighters that's on the elite level fight twice a year. Sometimes that don't
mhm.
even fucking happen. So he could possibly do that if he wanted to, if that's a route that he wanted to go, or he could fight Dog with all the smoke that he want to give him, or maybe he could fight somebody else. Like it's a lot of options. He got a lot of options too.
Yeah, I don't. But what options does he have though? That's the
What I
question.
Not
just
to
said.
fight,
You saying he
not
could
to
wait,
fight.
but he a fighter. What do you mean not to fight? So what you telling? All
Okay,
right.
but like,
So
dude,
question,
like, look how many
question.
people
I got
had
a quick
all these
quick
long
question. Go
layoffs that was champions, bro. Like,
right.
think about
Okay.
it. Like, he
Yeah, but
don't
normally
like
it
what I'm saying right
happens.
now. I'll be a hypocrite if I
Mhm,
don't use it the other way around.
okay.
My motto now is when they talking about this fight with Earl and Dog, and everybody's just so happy that he got it and I get it. And I'm like, bro, remember that karma that came the last time. Be humble and don't fumble the bag. Like, because
Mm-hmm.
the fight that I want to see is Earl and TC.
And
I
TC,
don't want
right,
neither one of them to fumble the bag.
right,
Period.
right.
That's the fight that I want to see. See, that's a motherfucker that really want to see this fight.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Don't fumble the bag on no part. Like, so what I'm saying is he don't gotta fight nobody. He can wait to see what happens. If he feel that he got a good chance to make this fight happen, because
Yep,
Dog ain't in the picture, he
yep.
could do that if he wanted to do it. You may
And
not do it, I may not do it, but you got an option.
yeah, but see, the only issue I have with that Goon, is what you're stating is basically he's going to fight one time for the entire year, and what that tells me,
I didn't say
what that
that.
well, if he's gonna, you're saying he has options, but what are you saying his options are? Is to you said is to wait and see what
No, I
happens
just
first?
told you it's three options.
Okay,
He can either fight somebody else, he
okay.
can fight Boots, or
Before
he
we move,
cannot fight and wait to see what happened with the Spence fight if he feel that he
okay,
can make the fight next.
okay. So here's a question, right? So we in December right now.
Right?
What I'm gonna go in order of what you said. You say he could fight somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
No, I'm just saying anybody, like
But
the
that's my
field,
question. But
the field,
I'm
anybody.
trying to be realistic so I
Yeah.
could get a real scenario in my head. So it's not.
So
I'm
what
not
is Boost
asking you.
rank?
I'm
Boost
I'm
not.
rank
asking
number
you
Hold
what
on a
two.
you.
second. Hold on. I'm not
Uh,
asking you that in a challenging way.
No, no, no,
Like
no, no, no,
who?
no. I'm just saying he can fight anybody. The field. We just gonna say the field,
Right, but I'm
or
asking who would you want to see? Because that's where my mind is going. When you say anybody, I'm like, okay,
no.
no boots, right? And
No, no,
everyone
no.
who's
I was saying Boost was next. You didn't hear me. I said you can fight anybody, the field, or you can fight Boots, or you can wait and see what happened with Spence if you feel that you can make the fight with him next.
right,
So
but you
he
said
has options.
right, but based on timelines, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Only because Spence fight is like at the end of the first quarter
I get what you're
of next
saying.
year. So it's like we know that these guys fight twice a year, right? The
Sometimes,
top, yeah,
yeah.
most of the time
Most times,
that
yeah.
the top guys are going to fight twice a year,
Right.
right?
Right. But I'm
So
saying, what if that don't happen though?
if he's gonna make the fight with Spence, if he's gonna wait around to see if and not fight anybody to make the fight with Spence, that means he's only gonna fight once for the year. Because based on Spence's schedule fighting Ugas, he's
Okay.
probably only gonna fight one
But
more
this is what I'm
time.
saying. You're handling his career, and
Hmm.
you like, bro, this young gun right here, we don't know if he's as advertised or not. We don't have to take that risk. Like, I think y'all should see what I'm saying. We don't have to take it if we don't want it.
I
Although
understand that.
we as fight fans want to see it, he don't have to do that because he can wait and see what happened with this. If he got a good chance that he feel that he can make this fight happen without that guy, whatever, however they figure out they could do it, I don't see that as a bad thing either, bro. I
I,
don't.
I'm not, and I'm agreeing with you, going. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. And when I'm asking you these questions, I'm not asking you them in a way to challenge
Yeah,
your opinion or your view. I just want to feel. I don't like to deal with
clarify. You just
hypotheticals.
want to
I just want to see like, okay, if you say he could fight someone else or Boots, I just want to take Boots out and say, okay,
Who?
who?
Then who? Then who?
Right. That's what I'm
That's
asking.
fair. That's
Like
fair.
who?
Yeah. I,
That's what I'm saying. It's like who?
okay. The
I mean,
only
he can
other
shoot a
person that I
tune
can
up in
see him
there. What is
Who?
Boots rank?
Who?
Number
No,
3 or
Dreeko.
4?
Before we go to Boots, what Boots is ranked? All right, so let's.
No,
All right,
no. I'm
I'll
I'm
tell
just
you what.
asking. I'm not.
No, no, go
I'm
ahead.
just asking for a reason. What is he rank? Not
I
not
think it's
even.
second in the WBO, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so who's before him?
Ortiz.
Ortiz.
He
Yeah.
can fight Ortiz. Well, Ortiz is
You
busy.
can't you
Ortiz got
can't
to
fight
right.
Ortiz.
Ortiz got to fight. That's my
Yep,
point.
Possibly,
Ortiz is
yeah,
busy.
possibly he has a fight.
Right. He has a
Okay.
fight.
So what about the only other person that I can see him fighting? To answer your question, Kwame,
Uh huh.
I'm not ducking it. Is the
Conor
dude
Ben.
who Ugas was supposed to fight for that eliminated? That's about the only other person I can
What?
see like
What
he
about
got a
Conor Ben?
puncher's chance.
What about Conor Ben?
Not yet,
Not yet.
not yet. But
Okay.
yeah, he on the come up though for real.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
not yet
I'm,
though. Yeah,
okay. I mean, I'm just trying to find someone where Bud doesn't get a hard time by us saying
I know what you're saying.
he fighting a light touch.
Yeah, but it's gonna be that because it's not the
I
people that
want. I
we.
want Boots. I don't
That's what
want
I said.
nobody. I want
That's
Boots.
what I
I want
said.
him to kick Boots' ass. That's what I want.
I want him to
I
get his ass kicked to kick his ass, bro. Like, yeah,
yeah.
like
I
it's to
mean,
hurt
it's
business.
time now. Listen, it's time to cut all that bullshit out. It's time to quit playing. It's time for the easy road talk to get out the way. It's time
He's
for these
yeah,
fighters to
yeah,
start fighting, bro. You
yeah,
understand? Like, it's
yeah.
time for them to start fighting. Spence on some bullshit.
I can't
TC,
say
you
that,
on some
Drake. I really
bullshit.
can't say that, Drake. Why you say that, Drake?
But because he waited 4 or 5 years to fight him. He said he was gonna clean up his side of the street. It don't take 10 years to clean up your side of the street, bro. Come on, you named 3 fighters.
That's
Now all of a sudden, you name Bud as Bud number 6. Come on, bro. Let's get
What you
down to
mean? What
business,
you mean?
Spence.
What you mean number 6?
Because he done fought Mikey in front of him, tried to put Pacquiao in front of him. Now it's Ugas in
Everybody
front of
taking
him.
Pacquiao though. Everybody taking
Yeah,
Pacquiao.
but I'm just saying that's what it is though. He put Pacquiao in front of him. He put, you know what I'm saying? Now it's time Spence to get off the shit and get off the toilet, and it's time for TC.
See,
TC,
that's the dude that I was talking about right there, the number 6 guy right there, bro.
so you
yeah.
saying, but
I'm saying like
Stanionis got someone to fight too already. The
no,
WBA.
they just
Yeah.
paid him step aside
Bro,
money.
Yeah, but
I want
he's paying
Boots.
step
Step aside
aside
money.
money. He's being paid step aside money to fight someone else in the WBA. They already got that
Okay.
planned.
See, I didn't know this, but you asked the question as
I
well.
want
To me, that would
Boots.
have been the other logical choice because if he's not fighting Boots, he can't fight Virgil. You
Right.
gotta fight him.
Right. Well, Josh Taylor's out there, right?
But nobody want to see. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. That's only an accolade fight, and I know y'all don't like to hear accolades, but like Bob Aaron was hyping that up because they both did the same thing. That was like an
But
accolade fight, but we don't want to
I
see
tell
that
you,
fight.
I tell you this though, Goon. If he got Spence in his crosshairs and he know that this absolutely gonna work, I'll go down there and get that money from Josh Taylor and clean his clock
Oh,
out
that's gonna be
as a
some good
tune
money
up,
over there. Now,
as
yeah,
a
that
tune up, and
Oh,
so that'll
again,
put you
will be some good money over
Josh
there.
Taylor got, but I
yeah.
forgot. Josh Taylor got a fight already though.
But he's
Oh,
saying he got a fight already. I didn't
He
know
got
he
a
had a
fight.
fight.
That's
well,
my point.
Yeah, I didn't know he had a fight.
listen,
And
brother.
that's what
I want
Goon,
Boots.
perfect. Perfect. We gonna cook. I'm gonna let you cook on that, Dreek. But I just want to say this to Goon. That's why I kept asking who, because it's like
Yeah,
everyone's
I
booked
get it.
now.
I get it. I get
That's
it.
why I was just trying to figure out in my head
Yeah.
like who could it be where it would be logical, but there's only one person.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at that right there, yeah, but you don't always go by that. Like with me, I agree 1,000% with you. Like shit,
Bring it on, bro. I'm
bro.
tired of
Like
playing with these motherfuckers,
I'm
man.
tired
They
of the
putting
talk,
people
bro.
in their head. You know what I'm saying? What's Spence gonna do next? He gonna call Stanley on this or whatever it is.
But
He
listen,
can fight
y'all
him
sleeping on
next.
him, even though
He
he fight like a robot. But that boy got power, man.
yeah.
He got a
He what
puncher's
he gonna
chance.
do? But what he gonna do? Fight him next after Boots? Like I mean after
No,
I hope
Ugas.
not.
no,
I
they're
will
gonna
hope
he's
I'm
not.
gonna
just
fight
saying though. It's
Crawford.
a possibility though.
No, he's
It's a
not.
possibility.
Oh, good
It's no,
run.
it's not gonna happen. He's gonna fight Crawford after
But
that.
Okay,
We would hope that shit, man.
yeah, I'm just saying,
yes, they have to
I
come to
don't
an
know.
agreement. But
I don't know.
listen,
Cause
They
you
should
know
want to
why I
fight,
say I
bro.
don't
After all
know?
this shit, they should want to fight.
You know why I say I don't know? Cause TC might turn this shit down. You see what I'm saying? So
man,
I
then
don't
you got to
know.
be on his
That's
helmet
another
for that.
thing.
Why would he
That's
turn it
another
down?
thing.
We
That's
got to be
another
on his
thing.
helmet for that. Then you
Just
don't get a
another. That's
pass
what
for
I'm gonna
that.
Why,
get to.
why you say he would turn it down?
I'm just saying it's a possibility for everything. It's a
Oh, yeah,
possibility
okay.
that Spence fights Stanley on this, and then it's a possibility TC might turn down the offer. I say fight. TC got to get off the pot too. He got to shit or get off the pot too.
No, that's
That
both of them,
60
bro.
40,
That's both of
whatever it
them.
is, let's get it
That's
on,
both,
bro.
dude.
Huh?
You kind of got on that the other day on the show, but you got cut off. And
Yeah.
I'm like, it's always easy for somebody to be like, Bud got to accept the 60-40. And I'm one that I feel that that's fair, but that's not me. That's him
No,
thinking this shit. You feel
I
what
ain't
I'm
saying
saying?
that.
But at
He's
the
got
same, but
to come
listen,
to
but at
terms.
the same
Either he
time,
should have get off the pot for
if Bob
TC.
want to make the fight, he could come up with that a little bit too to make the fight happen. Like people don't really look at it like that, and that's what's disheartening to me because I'll be like, you can look at it both ways, bro. You
So
can.
Yeah, but it take two to tangle. So whatever it is, they got to come to
That's the whole
agreement and
point
they
that I
got to
just
get it
made,
on.
though.
I'm tired of the
Like even if
bullshit,
you got
bro.
to come off 5%, like dog, I'm gonna
Bro,
beat your ass, but okay, okay.
whatever they got to do, goon, that's what they got to do. Cause I'm tired of this bullshit ass running around, ring around the rosy ass shit, bro. It's time to get in the ring. The best fight the best, and that go from him on down to
Yeah,
motherfucking Tank Davis, on down to whoever. Gary Russell, you come from off the bench too and get in the
yeah.
game. Like,
But
come
for
on,
me,
man,
bro, for
come
me
on.
as a fan that I am, it's the numbers talking to me right now, bro. Because like I cannot never remember this shit like this for no other fight, bro. Like I swear I can't, and I'm trying to think real hard.
Mayweather
Even for
Pacquiao,
Lennox
you don't
Lewis and
got to
Mike
think that
Tyson, bro.
hard. You don't got
Like
to think that hard. Mayweather Pacquiao, it was the same thing. It
no,
was
no,
worse.
it wasn't that. It
It
wasn't
was
that. It wasn't
worse.
that.
It
It
No,
was
it
wasn't the
was not.
worse.
numbers with
No,
Pacquiao.
it wasn't
It
the
wasn't the
numbers, bro.
numbers.
It was not the numbers because we knew what the numbers were. Everybody knew what the numbers was. It wasn't the numbers.
No, the
It
first
wasn't
time,
the numbers.
listen, the first time Floyd said it. Floyd called him, said he was going to give him $40 million, was going to wire him
The
20
flat
million.
fee. That was dumb if he would have
Right.
took that.
No. It wasn't just a flat fee, but he said what Pacquiao said was they said 50-50 or no fight. So that's the numbers. That
Okay.
I mean that sounds familiar. 50
Okay,
50 or no
listen, but
fight. That
listen, but
sounds
listen.
familiar.
Okay, you know what? And I'm gonna be fair and objective with you. You know what? That did happen. But guess what? Right now, we're still saying the same thing years later when that was only like that brief moment. Boom. Okay, we know we ain't gonna be able to do it, and we move on. Like right now, the numbers is all people talk about, not the fight, the
Mm-hmm.
fucking numbers, bro. And I'm
Right.
like, what the fuck?
I feel like, but the
Yeah.
only reason is because that's come out in public to be the alleged obstacle for the fight. That's why it's talked about. No, I don't.
I
Nobody really
mean,
wants to talk
bro,
about the. Nobody wants to talk about the numbers. I feel like in the case of like with Floyd and Pacquiao, and the good brother Grindhouse Sports Nation said Pacquiao didn't want to take that blood test the second go around when everything was set
That's
up.
true.
It's like
That's true too.
people started talking about the blood test. They're gonna talk about what it
But
is.
it wasn't the numbers. Like
It,
any day that we go
it
on this
was
motherfucker
even
this week, that's
It
all
was
they'll be
even
talking about.
worse. It was like, oh, Floyd's scared of Pacquiao. He wants him to take drug testing. Who is he?
They
He's
weren't
not.
talking about numbers. They weren't
You
talking about
know,
numbers. Some
they
shit that we
finally
don't know
had.
nothing about. They
They
weren't
have
talking about that.
finally agreed on some numbers, but hey, it didn't happen for whatever reason.
Is that
Yeah.
Dreeko?
it's ridiculous now, bro. Like this building up the motherfucking fights. Every fight need a backdrop. Every fight need a history, bro. Come on, y'all fight. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. It don't take that. Here go the money. We
I
gonna
hope he
do
won't.
numbers. It's no doubt that Spence and TC gonna do numbers. That's out of the
Yeah.
question. That's a 50 to 60 million dollar fight easily. Now,
Hmm.
pay them
I
men
agree.
what they want. They don't want no more than what 7, 8, 9,000, 9 million. Pay them men what they want. You still
Little back
clearing,
end and getting out of the way.
yeah. You still clearing $40 million, man, right there off the gate. What more do you greedy promoters? What more do you greedy ass managers want? Make the motherfucking fight
Because
happen.
they don't make money yearly off these pay-per-views. And this is what I've been
God,
trying to tell y'all, bro.
shout
Every
out
y'all
Yeah.
think like you
real,
see a pay per view and they think, oh, he made 300,000. It was a successful pay per view. It doesn't work like that, bro.
real quick. We just got a cash app from Trez Jackson. Shout out to Trez Jackson, for the donation. We got $1 in the
Thank
cash
you,
app. We take it all. You know what I'm
thank you,
saying?
thank you,
We
thank you
appreciate you guys, man. You know this internet. Well, I was gonna say it ain't cheap, but anyway,
for sure.
you know what I'm saying.
It's a
But
bill. It's a bill.
you know what I'm saying, and the stream yard, we gotta pay for that too, and just our time. So we definitely appreciate any donations. The cash app is at the bottom. And Trez Jackson, salute you. We definitely appreciate that. I didn't want to delve back into this too much because I know Dreeko was going there, but Dreeko and Karan
Oh
are arch
shit.
nemesis. So
Yeah.
I gotta put this up here. So Dreeko, he's actually this might be one of those times he's actually agreeing or supporting something Dreeko said, which is
Yeah.
I heard Spence is fighting for the WBA mandatory after Oops.
Damn.
Dreeko had just brought
Absolutely.
that up. Um, but I don't believe that's gonna happen at all.
I hope not, bro.
I don't believe that's gonna happen at all.
I
Uh,
swear I hope not, bro.
yeah, I don't see because here's the difference, right? They can't strip Spence if he fights
Nope.
they can't
So
strip him if
nope.
he fights a unification bout. The
Nope.
WBA only has control on what's going to go on inside the WBA. So meaning like if Spence was going to fight someone else in the WBA, he would have to fight that mandatory. But he don't have to fight no mandatory if he's gonna unify. So
Right.
I don't see that
That
happening.
that's
Boy,
why
I'm
I
hoping you're
said
right.
that's why
For
I
real.
said TC has to accept. He has to come to terms, come to grips, or whatever. And I hate to use the term accept because I'm that's like somebody saying, "Here, take this. I'm dictating what you
You
get."
must comply.
But
Yeah.
he has to come to some type of agreement with
Both
Earl
though.
Spence. Earl Spence
Both.
is gonna have to bend a little bit, and
It's gonna be
TC gonna
hard
have to
when it
get
Earl
in
get his
there.
third belt, bro, Drake.
That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's gonna be
So
hard.
whatever it is, man, that's when Al Heyman does his job. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Now
Make
we
it
can
happen.
see Al Heyman got to work. That's Al Heyman's job to make this thing fit together, and that's what it is. Now you got to earn your keep, Al Heyman. We gonna see
Yeah,
Al working at this fight.
nah, I'm not gonna. Here's the thing, Drico. I'm not going to agree with that only because we've seen Al Heyman make fights, big fights. Like
In-house
he just
fights, though.
no, he
We
just
see.
no, he just made a huge fight with Canelo and Caleb Plant, and
I
the
mean,
reason why that fight was able to happen is because Canelo Alvarez didn't take anything personal against Al Heyman, said he wanted to unify, knew that the fighter that he needed to become undisputed against was with Al Heyman, and they dropped Eddie Hearn because Eddie Hearn was still negotiating and doing shit for them before he did the Yodrum fight and all that. They knew that Eddie Hearn wasn't going to be welcomed. Eddie Reynoso and Canelo went and saw Al Heyman, and the fight got made. It was a tough deal in the beginning. It fell apart. It came back together. So we got to put the same. We got to keep the same energy when it comes to Bud. We
I
can't
mean,
put the shit. Hold on,
I'm
Drake. We
I'm
can't put it
just
on Al. It's
you
up to
just
Bud.
said you just said what you said, right?
Hmm.
Have that same energy when it come to Bud when you put that in there. The same energy you just explained about how he went
Mhm.
back to Canelo and Canelo
I
did.
was gonna say
Have that
that.
same energy when it comes to Bud.
Yeah, but Bud has
Yeah.
to. But the key thing is this is the thing. The key thing is Canelo Alvarez went to Al Heyman. He didn't listen. Canelo Alvarez didn't fly to Brazil and said, "I want to fight." He looking for
That's
Caleb
Canelo
Plant
though.
in the water. That's not what he
I,
said.
I mean, I
That's
mean, yeah,
Canelo
hey,
though.
bro, yeah, yeah. Come on, like we
That's
Yeah,
can't
Canelo.
Canelo
it doesn't matter
and
who you are though. If you want to
It
listen,
shit
does.
Drico, Drake,
bullshit.
Drake.
It
If
does.
if I'm saying I'm dumb and I can't sleep like I'm young, I need to touch something and all that, and I want to fight you, Drico, and Goon represents you,
Hmm.
then I need to go talk to Goon, or else I'm
Brother.
capping.
You know Canelo can
I
fight.
can see
Pick
your
up the
point though on
phone
that
right
though.
now. Canelo can pick up the motherfucking phone right now and fight
And make
anybody
it
he
happen.
want to fight from 168
For
down.
35 million.
Yeah,
Fight
that's
me.
true.
He can
That's
fight me
true.
for
That's true.
35
And what
million.
he's
And get
done,
$40 million for doing it.
right?
You see
But
what I'm
Yep.
that's
saying?
true. But
Now you see
that's
the
true.
difference? You see the difference?
UFC can't
Yeah,
do that.
listen, what you're talking about is in terms of like the power Canelo has in terms of
Mhm.
what he
Star
is as a
power.
boxing, what he is as a boxing asset or a boxing business or however you want to word it. You know what you're talking about is Canelo Canelo's worth as a business and how he represents dollars. So he has certain leverage where he could go wherever. But the thing is, when he wanted to make a fight,
He made it
he
happen.
got rid of he went to the he did two things, right? He got rid of the person that he knew that he went to the person that had the fighter that was in control of the fighter that he wanted to fight, and then the most important thing was he got rid of a person that was negotiating his fights that he knew that that person didn't want to speak to, and got the fight made. So all I'm saying is in Terrence Crawford's case, that's all. I mean, that's all he got to do. Look,
We
you
agreeing.
can't
We
be
saying the
wrong.
same thing though. We
Right?
saying the same.
Okay.
I'm saying make the fight happen. I don't care if
Okay.
he got to, you know what I'm saying? If he got to
You
fly
just
a
saying both
plane over
sides
to
gotta
say,
bend a little.
Yeah.
yeah, we got to,
Yeah,
they got
I
to
get it.
fight, bro. And
But listen, true.
we as fans, we can't keep on backing this 60-40. We got to let them negotiate and let them come to their terms. And yes, I hear the chat talking about Earl don't have to bend. You know Earl been saying 60-40. You know Earl and TC been
Hey
saying
Drake.
no. So
Hey Drake.
you can't go in
Drake,
there
I'm
with
gonna
that
be real though.
60-40 shit.
Drake, I'm gonna be real
Huh?
though, bro. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
real, bro, because I keep it objective on both sides, bro. If
Yeah.
dog go beat Ugas for this belt, it's gonna be hard to do that. And
Oh,
I'm being real.
he don't have no choice.
Yeah, you
You
feel
know
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying?
So like, yeah,
That's a gimme. You
even
know
though
what I'm saying?
I
That's a
want to see him
gimme.
fight bad as a motherfucker, but like he gonna
Yeah.
have to give
Yeah.
on that three
Yeah.
belt to
You
one.
got you. That's what I'm
The same
saying.
you gotta
He
see it
gonna
for
have to.
Joshua and Wilder when everybody was like, no, it's 50-50. No, it's not 50-50. Joshua got all the
Yeah.
fucking belts but one.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. So y'all in the chat, y'all don't have to disagree yet because I'm saying the same thing. If I say my name, Dreeko Bay, Karan gonna say, "Well, I don't know." You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to disagree. Like brother, I'm
He's
telling
doing
you,
y'all doing well. Don't bring that up.
I'm telling you
Y'all
to
not
make it because I'm
disagreeing.
reading the chat. I'm reading the chat. Tyrone to Tyrone. If I say right, Tyrone say left. So you know what I'm saying? I'm saying make the fight happen. I'm not trying to say Spence got to bend
Right.
a
But
little bit. I'm not trying to say see got to
yeah,
bend.
yeah.
Make the fight.
But what I feel like this, I'm gonna tell you why they're saying what they're saying in the chat, and it's because what I feel too. Right. See, Goon come out and say, "Hey, listen, man, I got to keep it 100. I got to be down the middle. If when Earl get that third belt, it can't even be that, right? What we were waiting for you to say, like how I just explained how Canelo made the fight. We
I
just want you
agree.
to. We agree, right?
If
But
he
what?
get that third
Yeah,
motherfucking belt, it ain't no.
right, right, right. But
But they
what we're
still got to
saying
come to
is
terms.
right. But what we're saying is you also on the flip side, we just waiting for you to put some of the weight on Bud to he has to go to Al Heyman whether he don't like him or not. If he
I,
feel that man took food out of his plate or whatever his personal feeling is, why he got
bro.
froze out or
Only
whatever the
if you
But
want
case
to make
is,
that fight.
he
Only
got
if
to
you want
go
to
to
make the
Al
fight.
Heyman to make the
but
fight.
but is it TC job to go to Heyman or is it Heyman job to send that contract?
Mm.
It's both. He has to be first of all. He has to be willing to talk first. If you
I
listen,
mean,
if
you
you
ain't
say,
gonna never know
look,
until you send it
Bernie,
though, bro. See, y'all
look,
putting
That's
the
true
wagon
too.
before the horse.
look,
That's
Y'all putting
true.
the wagon
look,
before the horse.
look. If a guy just got on social media, right, and just said nothing's changed from my position with 60-40 or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you even going to be entertaining it as of right now when you know I mean, how much energy do you
Because
think
of
it took?
everything that's going on right now to
But
answer
listen,
your
listen, just hold on, cool.
okay.
How much energy you think was put into getting the WBA to do what they did to make this fight possible? They're not going to focus on that. That's not right now. That's not important, right? Was and it doesn't even make sense because who's even representing from a business standpoint Terrence Crawford at this point? Who's representing him? Because this
But
is no disrespect. Listen, no disrespect to his current manager, right? But this is a huge huge fight, huge numbers, networks and stuff, there's someone else who's big, another big entity has to be involved if he's not going to just do it with PBC and come to terms. So if he's not going to go to Al, then he has to go to like an MTK Global or whatever, and they represent him and they crunch the numbers and they negotiate with the PBC. That ain't Buz's job to do. But what Bub does have authority of, because right now he is the boss. He's not under anybody. He is the boss. Everyone else, everyone else right now that's around Bud is his employee. He paid them all. He is the boss. So it's up to him. Hold on one second. I can't answer that right now. Yeah, it's up to him to be the one to say, "Hey, we need to contact the PBC, not Floyd, because I haven't seen any negotiations with Earl Spence that had anything to do with Floyd Mayweather being in it. Floyd
And
don't
Floyd
represent.
said,
Floyd don't speak for Spence. We've never seen that. And getting a fight made, or he don't have nothing to do with that. The only thing he ever said is we gonna let the fight marinate. But I haven't seen Mayweather promotions or any of Spence's fights. I haven't seen Floyd Mayweather in any of Spence's press conferences. So it's Al Heyman, and it's on them to do that. And we have to just be honest and say he has to do that. The call look, it's cute for social media. Social media, you got 90% of the world on social media, probably more than that. Who knows? Which means that you got all kind of different personalities, all type of people like different things, right? So
right?
there's going to be people who's going to like the fact that he got in the ocean and said, "Earl, where are you?" I thought it was funny. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was funny. I thought it was well placed in time, but it's comedy because that's not going to make a fight. So if you really say you want to make a fight, you don't do it from there. You got to contact Al Heyman. Point blank. Period. That's when Spence first said anything about 60-40, he said, it should be 60-40, but I'm gonna let Al Heyman handle my business. He knows what I'm worth, and Bob knows what he worth. So again, he has to go to Al Heyman. Well, he has to be willing to talk to Al Heyman, whether he like it or not. If he
Yeah,
really wants to make the
I
fight,
got you.
there's no way
You right.
around that.
You right. You
Well,
right.
brother, it's that's correct right there.
Mhm.
However, Al Heyman got to send that contract. They can go all of this back and forth shit, 60-40 all day long. It's not nothing until they get there and say, once if they send a contract, even if they say 60-40, even if they say 80-20, at least they sent the contract and the negotiations have started. They haven't sent a thing yet, so you can't say, well, TC already shot it down. TC already shot what down? Because nothing's
Okay.
been formal yet. So technically, he can just be talking, just like Earl 80-20. That's just talk. So how come TC can't talk? It's always serious with TC. So we have to keep that shit kind of even when it come across the board. And then TC has to realize this dude got 3 belts now.
Okay.
It really ain't no negotiate. This is non-negotiable right here. He got
I,
3 belts. I'm gonna have to come to terms
oh,
sooner or
okay.
later.
All right. So Dreeko, I just got a request on my phone. Somebody wants to come into the chat. They said they want to cook you.
Oh shit!
All right.
Do
I
what?
think I know who it is
They
too.
said they said they want to cook you. It's
Oh,
Quran.
I
How?
already
So
know.
so
I already
Oh
so
know.
Lord
okay. So
Jesus
so
I
so
already
so
Christ!
know.
so so
See,
listen. Hold on,
I can't even keep it
hold
even.
on, hold on. I'm gonna put in the chat. I like I did yesterday. I'm setting some rules, Dreeko. If you need to go
Jesus.
get some water to cool down your hot Latin blood, because we know how that go.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I'm
You know what I'm
cool,
saying?
but I'm cool. But you see how I keep it even, chat? Now I just say now TC
I,
got to give up the 60, got to give up the 40-60 if Earl get the belt. How in the hell? See, I can't do nothing. That's why I be saying
this the
50-50 on y'all. Because
here's
y'all
the
be mad if I say anything.
here's the link.
I
Here's the link.
50-50.
The link is in the chat, Quran. This is for Quran right now.
50-50.
Well, we'll open the panel up a little bit later, but
Yeah.
yeah, these brothers got a little bit of history.
Yeah.
You know, and
But no, 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 but I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. But I'm trying to keep it even. I'm trying to get a fight. I don't care about no numbers. I really don't care about none of that shit. Both of them got to shit to get off the pot. It's time for us as a consumer to start demanding these fights and stop hide. Let them hide behind numbers. What we doing now, when we saying 60-40, that shit right there, that's allowing them to, that's giving them an excuse to hide behind that 60 or hide behind that 80 or hide behind whatever amount it is, 75. That's giving them excuses to do that. If we demand that fight and say, hey, we want to see y'all fight. Whatever y'all managers work out, y'all managers work out. We don't care about the details. All we want to see is 69.99 and 79.99 for that motherfucking fight when it come across the screen. And if we want to
Period.
see it and we the consumer,
Period.
we'll buy it. Period.
Well, first off, I hate to bust your bubble, but the fight's gonna be 99.95.
But
Mm.
99.95.
I'll pay for it.
We
I'll
gonna
pay for
buy
it.
it.
See what you said, Goon. I pay for it. That's why it's gonna be
Yeah,
99.95.
yeah,
I'll
for
pay
sure.
for it. I'll pay
That
for
fight
it.
gonna be 99.95.
Yeah, I
They
will
gonna
pay
get us
for it.
in that one.
But they need to, both of them. TC got to accept what it is. He got to come to reality and say, you know what? Yeah, he got them three belts. I'm gonna have to go ahead, even with
What?
all my accolades. I'm gonna have to go ahead and do what I got to do to get this title shot, and I'll work it out from there. And then Earl, he got to stop being a diva
Gotta
too,
be
and
open.
he
You
got to
gotta be
say,
open too. Yeah.
yeah, he got to say, okay, man, since you took that 40, I'm gonna give you a little bit on the back end of it too.
You don't need
You
to
know what I'm
say
saying?
that. They just need to make a good deal. There's nothing Earl need to say.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean.
Oh,
Earl got
check
to be.
check this out.
Uh-huh.
YSS Sports Media. Uh, let's put it like this. He has all access to Boots.
Yeah, well
He
tell them let's get it
Boots.
then.
he
Yeah.
said ain't no
Yeah,
split talks over
Don't talk
here.
about it, be
Tell
about
him
it. Get
let's
that
bruh.
get it.
contract.
He gonna
Ain't no
listen.
splits talk.
Just keep your eyes
60-40
open.
the boots and get your
Yeah,
block knocked off.
yeah, you can get the
Listen,
smoke.
he
You can get the
gonna
smoke.
listen. Listen. Keep your eyes open because I'm pretty sure
We're
he's gonna
good.
be headed to the gym this week and he's
Good.
gonna have a video out
Good.
Bruh.
with Boots
What did
Good.
talking.
we say?
Tell 'em
What did we say
we
in the
want to see
beginning
a
of the
boosted
show?
fight anyway. So it's
Okay,
cool.
okay.
Yeah,
It's
he
cool.
might get
It's
in there and
cool.
start windmilling against TC. We
Yeah,
don't
you
even
know,
know.
man. It's levels to this shit, bro. We it's levels to this shit.
Levels.
Oh.
And we seen only one of them at a level. So like, let's get it.
Oh man, y'all!
Let's get it.
You gotta love y'all guys,
Earl
man.
didn't want to fight him, so shit. Bud, fight him. Shit, fuck it. Fuck
Oh,
it.
gotta love y'all guys, man.
Yeah, yeah, I shot
Gotta
that one.
love y'all
You caught
guys,
that, you caught
man.
that,
Earl
Kwame. You
running.
caught that. You caught it, Kwame.
Yeah, gotta love y'all, man.
Earl running and ducking. He done put three people in front
Tell
of
Blu-ray,
TC. He
tell
started
Blu-ray to
out.
keep that energy 2 weeks ago. He wasn't doing all that, bro.
Blu-ray energy been consistent, but
Nah, his energy wasn't the same for about Boots fighting him. That's why he been on them videos
Man,
and the
Blu-ray done found Jesus,
DVOs.
man.
Yeah.
just
He
Blu-ray
didn't
been
want to fight
found
that
Jesus.
man. He didn't want to fight him.
Blu-ray done found Jesus, man. He turned his life around, man. Let's not do Blu-ray like that.
He
He's
didn't
a
want to fight.
righteous
He
man
didn't want to
now.
fight that. He
He
didn't want to
is,
fight that
man. He said
man.
he's gonna send you a cash app for some Q-tips. No, he said a GoFundMe for some Q-tips. That was pretty
Man, when
funny.
he started talking about kids and
Is
fathers, bro, he
yeah,
lost me with
yeah. I
that
know he
shit, bro.
lost you with that one,
He
Goon. I
lost.
can tell. I
I'm
knew he
like, what
lost you
the
with that
fuck?
one. I knew he lost you
Where's
with it. But
Blu-ray
that's who Blu-ray. But that's who Blu-ray is. That's Blu-ray is
from?
he Blu-ray got his shit together, so he be coming at people like that. Not saying like
Oh, but
he
I'm
coming
like,
at y'all.
dude.
He just be coming at
Oh,
people in
okay.
general
I'm trying to
like that.
figure out, like, bro, like, what is you
Cause,
talking
cause
about?
you know why? Because if you check out his channel, he don't just talk about boxing. He'll be talking about like
His
what
kids,
men should
yeah,
be doing for women, and
yeah,
like he'll be
yeah,
talking about so that so he might have been on something like that for the day,
yeah, yeah.
but
I
I
just
get
didn't
it.
know we was
Yeah.
going with
Oh,
it.
yeah,
That's
because he
what we
does
are.
do those, what is that, empowerment classes?
Yeah, yeah,
He got
he
Yeah,
do
those.
stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. And I commend him, bro. You know, he's doing a good job with his son, man, out in church. I seen his son giving a speech or something in church,
Yeah, I
man.
saw
That's
that. Yeah,
shout out. He
yeah,
bringing him up the right way. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's a solid father without a doubt. He's a solid.
yeah, yeah.
I
Look.
respect the hell out of that.
One thing I'll say about all these black men that we spoke about: Crawford, Spence,
Earl, yep.
and yeah, and Blu-ray, all
Mm-hmm.
solid black fathers. It's evident,
Yeah,
man. So you gotta salute them
yeah.
guys for that
Respect,
and
respect,
be
bro.
solid because we get as black men, a lot of us get a bad rap when it comes to children and our kids and all
Yeah,
that. So I
Yeah.
definitely salute that, but. To go back to it, they said they ain't looking for no split in Philly. So, they only looking to split wigs.
Okay, well, shit, let's get it then. Shit, let's get it.
Ain't
Yeah, they was
nobody, ain't
supposed to
nobody
win.
scared of Boots.
Don't be no king of cap like Ryan Garcia now.
Don't be mad. Boots to take the fight. Don't be mad. I'm telling you that fight.
Do Boots even got a fan base? What's Boots' numbers?
Philly
What's his last
two
fight? We want to know
Earl
his
two one
Spence
POV
five
fans.
number.
Earl Spence fans, bro.
two one five. No, Boots got
Bruce,
a Boots.
Bruce is Earl
Philly.
Spence fans, bro.
That's not true because Earl Spence fans. Look, Errol Spence fans is Cowboy fans, Texas fans, and we all know in football the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cowboys are direct rivals.
Yeah, for
Boots
sure.
Boots
That's true.
has Boots has Philadelphia behind him. A bunch of niggas with beards, a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
Ikes out there. They trust me. They
Keys.
behind.
Koofies and shit.
Yeah, they behind Boots. Trust me. You
That's
know what I'm saying.
okay. Boots can get
And
his beard and
and
Koofy knocked off too.
listen, all I'm gonna say, oh, like I said,
Make no difference,
I
baby.
you know what I like about Boots over
What you like
Crawford.
about him?
Everything,
Boots is a
everything.
Boots is a real Boots
Boots check
has a
all the
real.
boxes, bro.
That's right. He's a real pound for pound. He has a real pound for pound mentality because you know what Boots would do. Boots would go fight Terrence Crawford in Omaha to go get his.
Yeah,
And
I would
Okay,
hope he
well
like
we
does
I
gonna
that.
call.
said,
You know
and
I would
what?
like
hope
I
he
We
does.
said,
gonna call his bluff.
he
We gonna
gonna be
call
he
his
gonna be
bluff
the
then.
he go in less than 8. He gonna be the illest nigga in Nebraska after
We
Man,
gonna
but
after
call
he
what
his
if
fight.
he
bluff.
don't? What if he don't?
Mm.
Ooh,
You know
We
what I'm
gonna
saying?
call his
ooh,
bluff then.
that'll be
You gonna
another
get your
Philly
But
shot,
fighter.
Boots.
but the question
That'll be
is,
another Philly fighter that
but the
was
question
young
is,
that got ruined too early.
but the
See what I'm
question
saying?
is, the
Y'all don't
question
look
is,
at things like that. I'll be
but
watching this shit,
but the
bro.
question is, what if he do?
Yeah, that's what I said. But no, you said he
Let's
will do
fight.
it, and I said, what if he don't? And then he gonna be
Yeah.
another
Well,
ruined
well,
Philly
hey,
fighter.
that's the listen.
That's the chance you take.
That's the choice he made. He betting on
Be
himself.
quiet now. The
You
Boots
gotta
camp
love
is
that
rapidly
about a
quiet now.
fighter. You gotta love that about a fighter.
Hey, bro, I don't take none of these fires serious until that contract signed, bro.
I believe
So
it.
you
I
feel
no,
what I'm
look.
saying? Like Ryan Garcia had me geeked a couple of times.
No, no, he never me. I knew he
You
was a.
know, he capping. So
I knew he
like
was a hoe for the
to that
longest.
contract sign, bro, like all that shit they talking to that
I saw
contract
straight
sign.
through Ryan Garcia from the beginning.
The first cap should have did it.
No, I knew he was before he even opened his mouth about any of this stuff recently. I could just look at Ryan Garcia and saw he wasn't with it. I just saw it.
Man,
I knew he was the
man.
worst. I knew he was the worst out of all of the guys at 135, like the top the prospects and the contenders and the young champions. I knew he was at the back because Golden Boy developed their fighters very similar to Top Rank. They use the same
Mm-hmm.
blueprint because
Same
Oscar
model.
learned everything about the business from
Yeah,
Bob
it's the
Arum,
same model. It's the
but
same
he
business
don't
model.
have the inventory for Ryan Garcia, and he's not going to want to lose. Uh, he's not going to want to lose Ryan Garcia's potential in the future. But the problem
Mm-hmm.
is Ryan Garcia is not even fighting now, and he's done all this diva stuff. He's not even fighting. So I mean, Canelo is basically like, you know, with Ryan Garcia. So, it's just cap. But I know one thing. Uh, Terrence Crawford get hit early, man. I don't know if he could take boot shit early. It's like I
What if
said.
he do though?
It's like I said.
And look,
His mentality wants to do one thing, but his body be doing something else when he get hit. You
Well,
you
know.
know,
y'all know what
yesterday
happens
I
when you
was trying
touch
to get
Terrence
in.
Crawford.
He's gonna be a fight gonna break out.
Yeah, he gonna
And
okay.
look,
Y'all know
but
what happens. Y'all know what happens.
it was one
Go
thing I
ahead.
was wanting
Go
to
ahead.
say yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to get it out because
hmm
we had abruptly went off.
hmm
You know, everybody was saying about like how when Spence and Crawford fight, and
hmm
it's one thing that no one said yesterday,
hmm
and it's that when Spence come in and jab to get in and get ready to go to the body, he's going to leave himself open, bro.
hmm
And I don't think nobody's really caring about Crawford's power because they just automatically assuming that Spence just go overpower him and beat him up, like as you say, Kwame beat him up.
hmm
But to do that, to do the things you have to do, you have to take chances, and you can be hit.
hmm
So we don't know if he can take a bud punch. Like, let's just be real about it. Like, you just can't say, dog, go in there and just do that
But
because
here's
he's gonna open himself up to being
tr-
hit.
true. But here's the thing, right? With the body shot, in order for you to counter it correctly, a lot of times you got to give it up. to do it, you know, and Spence will stop you to the body. We all know that. So Crawford has to guard it. Like he's gonna have to respect the body, but he gonna have to respect that liver shot. He gonna have to respect it.
Yeah, no
You
bro.
doubt.
know, so
But the
it,
thing that
it
I'm
just
saying is
makes out
like
it just makes out to
you
be a
have
great
to.
fight.
You have to, but like
But
to do that shot, you're gonna leave yourself open for something. Like you have to look
True,
at
but
that too.
but
You see what I'm saying?
but it's also about in what range you throw it in too.
Right. Yep.
but goon,
That's true.
goon. Listen to this. You also got to go through the ring before you even get in range to throw that body shot.
That's true too. That's true too. That's true
Okay.
See,
too.
All right now.
That's
All
true
right
too.
one
now.
thing,
Let's talk. If we're
one
gonna
one
talk,
th-
we're gonna talk.
well, the
Talk
only
that
way
shit in, Dreeko.
the only way that's not going to happen is if we seeing Errol Spence getting pieced up trying to come in there
Trying to get in there,
That's
because
right?
what's
he's
gonna happen.
because he's
You
coming
have to
in.
change something up. Like is
Yeah,
what I'm saying. Like,
he coming in there. He
right,
coming.
but listen though, Kwame. Remember yesterday I said sometimes you're gonna have a plan A, B, C, and D. Like in this
Hmm.
fight, the way
Hmm.
it's looking on paper to me, if I'm being perfectly honest,
Hmm.
that's not gonna work what he's been doing with other people. Kind of like you can't negotiate the same way you did when you did with other people. Like I see it what Dreek was saying. Like it's the same thing. Like
I
you're
feel
not
you.
gonna be able to fight him the same way you fought Kell Brock or Mikey or like it's a different fight on both sides.
Right. But here's the thing. He's fought those guys differently. It's just that his style, he has a certain style, but he's fought them
Mhm.
all differently.
Right,
He didn't fight. Look, think about it. He didn't fight Mikey Garcia the same way he fought Kell Brook. I mean, he didn't.
right.
He didn't fight Kell
But
Brook. He didn't fight Kell Brook the same way he fought Leonard Bundu.
But brother, you could take that fight that he did with Mikey Garcia and put superimpose him into the fight he did with Lamont Peterson. That's the same fight. You could
It's
take
not.
that Kell Brook fight and
Almost.
superimpose him to Porter fight, and it's the same fight. He fought in a phone booth. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. You know, I'm not talking about his technique and nothing like those fights. Earl fight, all his fights are similar. All his
I'm
fights are
saying,
similar.
yeah, I'm saying it's similar. It's like if you know who
You
you
just
are,
make him look like that though, bro. I'm gonna be real
right?
with you.
He does. Yeah, he make it look like
You
that,
just
but
make
he's
it look
doing
like that.
different things. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying. You gotta watch what he's
He make it
doing.
look like that. He make it look like
Because
that.
trust me, if it was that plain, he would have lost to these guys.
Hmm.
He's just better than them, bro.
Right,
Says a
He
lot. And Terrence
Spence
Crawford
is
is
just
just better. It's just
Spence
levels.
is
right,
Spence is just
right.
better than those guys that he fought, and we have to say that. Like
Is that
he
Mr.
is just
Johnson?
better.
It sure is.
Is
What's
he's
up,
just
bro?
better than those people? What's up with you? He's just better than those people. He was able to get past those people, and that's a fact because look at what he was doing off the record. And not to bring that up, but we all know that if he was doing that off the record, shit,
Murked him. Yeah,
he
yeah, I
got
agree.
them by pure athleticism or pure fighting ability. Now he's gonna have to use his brains. He's going to have to use his hands. He's gonna have to use his
Both of
feet,
them.
and he gonna have to move these motherfucking head too. He can't come in
Both
there on
of
that
them, bro.
straight line. Okay, let's talk,
Well,
man. If we're gonna talk, we're gonna talk. What's up,
we
Johnson?
gonna see. What's up, Karan?
Drake, you caught a body already? Oh
Oh wait,
my.
he's muted. Let me see if I can unmute us. You
Oh,
gotta unmute
Drake,
his mic.
why you do that, man?
Your mic is muted, Karan.
You ain't gonna get people to come on here if you body them
Oh,
before
okay.
they
Can
come
you
on
hear
here,
me?
bro.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yep, we can
All
hear
right.
you now.
What's going on? How y'all brothers doing tonight?
We
What up,
great.
I'm all
bro?
right, bro. What's up?
Oh, slow motion, man. Getting over this COVID shit. Remember, I was telling you about that, Kwame. You're gonna have
Yeah.
to make a public service announcement, man. You know, regardless of your stance on the needle, you got to be careful because this shit is real. This shit put me and my whole family down for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's
Ooh-wee.
real.
Oh, I
Definitely.
Damn.
had that shit, Johnson. So I know what you talking about. A6 in the building. My
Oh man,
motherfucking
okay.
nigga.
Hey, what's popping with y'all? Look, man, I ain't even up here to debate Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. I'm over here getting tacos with my daughter. I just want to tell you, brothers, man, y'all doing a great job, bro. I appreciate the content. Y'all keep grinding. Y'all give me good shit to listen to, man. I hope to see more and more and more content from y'all. And I like the fact that y'all got a lot of different perspectives on this panel, and y'all all respect each other, bro. So it's
For
much
sure.
love from Dallas, Texas to y'all, bro. You know what I'm saying? Anytime any one of y'all in my chat, bro. Anytime y'all see me live and y'all in my chat, y'all always welcome. Drop your link, bro. Let's get y'all subscribers and shit up because people need to hear this shit, bro. We need to
Thanks,
keep
bro.
these conversations going, bro. That's all I wanted to say. I ain't up here to prove no point. Y'all all know what it is, though. It's Team Spence all day,
For
but I
sure.
ain't
For
Yeah,
even,
sure.
I
yeah.
ain't,
For
I
sure.
ain't even, I
For
ain't
sure.
even here to prove a point. I just wanted to give you brothers some flowers. I'ma hop back in the
Thank,
chat, man. But y'all keep pushing, bro.
We
Thanks,
thank you,
appreciate
bro.
that.
For
brother.
real.
Yeah, much love.
All right, can I say something now?
Go
Absolutely.
Yes.
ahead.
This is why you
All right,
here.
I feel like Crawford wasted the opportunity because the WBA had told Ugas and Smith and them no twice, and instead of trying to jump on that when that contract with Bob was over, I mean, okay, I understand you want to take a vacation, but nigga, you got to get busy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? 'Cause nobody's gonna sit around and wait for you.
True.
And I
It
and
just
I
yeah.
feel like there was two times because when Smith and them initially went for Ugas, they was told no. They waited a minute, tried that shit again, and was told no again. So there was a period where Smith and them didn't have a fight. And from what I heard was if they couldn't make that fight, they was going to try to negotiate with Crawford. So I don't know what happened. I'm
You
I
done.
know what,
mean,
bro? You got a good point, bro. Like I can't even this goon. I can't even dispute that, bro. I can't dispute that.
it 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 is. You got a valid point, man. But damn, can my man take a vacation? I mean, Spence went out
No,
and bought a horse and a ranch. Well,
listen,
he
the thing
got
is this. This is
Oh,
the
good
thing,
point.
Rick. All right. Spence only has a couple more fights at 147. He's been saying that for like 2 years,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So if he can't get Crawford, and then he couldn't get Ugas, right? He would still have an IBF mandatory to deal with.
Yep.
You dig what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Now after that, okay, maybe try to revisit the Crawford negotiations. But if Crawford is trying to fight Thurman, then that push that shit back later.
that's
WBC
true.
to try to fight somebody
Yeah,
after anything. You got to think about it, right? He's had two injuries that took off like 2 years. Then with Thurman tying up the division for 2 years, all them niggas lost like four years off of fights that they won.
Yeah. Yep. That's true too.
I agree. And Don Dada got a good point. He said, has Spence done all he can do, or has Spence done everything he could do to make this fight?
Right, but that's what we
And
were
the
saying.
answer,
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
yeah. The answer with that, I would have to say no for me. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? And I'm just being 100 because the contract hasn't been sent yet. A term
Hmm.
sheet, nothing
Okay,
has been
now
sent.
this is the thing though. You can't send anything until he changes his position about him wanting the 60.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't even start negotiations until that shit is gone.
Right.
I mean, you can send a term sheet though. You
No,
know what
you
I'm
can't.
saying?
Can't
You
send
can send a
nothing.
term sheet
If
anywhere.
this
I
nigga
mean,
thinking he the
anyway,
60, listen,
right?
Dreek,
But
if he thinking he the
Karan,
60, where the hell do we
go ahead.
start at?
I mean, you send that term sheet, let him turn it down. Then that
No,
way you can say, hey,
guess what?
formally,
Guess what?
now it's
Guess what?
formal.
Well,
See what I'm
normal
saying?
from what I
See,
heard,
you know what that means though? That means you're giving Crawford more power than he has. And he has no leverage
I
in the
mean,
state.
you can't just degrade the man just because of
I'm not
40%
degrading him.
though.
I'm saying he got to go to them and say, I want the fight and I'm willing to take the split.
Right, right.
Because what he's
But
been saying publicly is 60-40 my way or no fight.
okay, but that's not formal.
But that it don't make, yes, it is. If he said it to the world,
That's
that's more
that's
formal
not
than that.
formal. That's not formal because it's not in writing, bro. So
Come on.
we can't hold neither one. We can't hold Spence to what he say right now, and we can't hold TC to what he say right now.
Okay. Forget
When we
them for a
start
second,
when
Drake.
they get that
Drake,
when they
listen.
get
Forget them for a second. If you trying to do business with somebody and they keep saying no, you're not going to beg them. You're going to move the fuck on.
Yeah. I
Excuse
give
my
you that.
language.
I give you that.
You're not going to
yeah.
beg them.
Okay, well then why ain't Spence moved on then? Move on. We
He got
ain't
the Uber
saying we
fight.
ain't keeping
Ho, ho,
Spence.
ho. Listen. While Crawford was clowning, talking about he looking for him in the sea, and how come he not responding, he made a fucking power move and came out with an announcement Saturday night, out the blue.
I
That's
mean,
so got
Karan, but we can't hold neither one of them. We can't hold either one of them responsible or hold them to what they saying on social media, bro. I can say I got $1 million and I got a Bentley outside. I'm on social media. You see what I'm
Check
saying?
this out,
I
right?
can't
This is what I've been noticing,
until
Drake.
you get their name on that dotted line, Karan.
Yeah.
That conversation ain't nothing, bro.
It's about to
Listen,
heat
this
Nothing.
up
is
because
what
I
I
know where
noticed,
this
right?
going.
All right. With most fights, we hear about the negotiations, and then the fight get made. With the Manny fight and with this Ugas fight, you ain't hear shit until they said the fight was made.
Mhm.
Both times.
That's in
They're,
house though, bro.
they're not, but they're not announcing anything. They're getting deals done.
But
You can't
that
get a
goes to
deal. Listen, you can't get a deal done playing around.
show you how different this fight is. That fight, you ain't heard nothing about who gets them deal. Why all of a sudden we hearing 60-40 from TC when he get a chance to before they
Because
even
he said
formal talks
because
even
he said
begin?
60-40 his way or no fight. That's where that came from.
Nah, bro, come on now. We gotta
Yes,
keep
it
it
was.
100, man. Earl said
He said
60-40,
that.
bro. We gotta keep it 100. We gotta keep it
And it
100,
was
man.
60-40. Listen,
We gotta keep it 100
Spence
now.
at the same time, right? Spence had two belts. So it's 60-40 if he says 60-40. He's a unified champ. And we're not
Okay
even
then.
talking
But
about the
why?
numbers yet. We're not even
My
talking
thing
about
is
the, we talking about the unified champ at the welterweight division.
my thing is
You want to
this.
try to put the
We
mold
don't hear about
Yeah, Karan, yeah, you
my
gotta let Dreeko speak.
Hey,
my
Drake, I'm
thing.
sorry.
My thing is this. We haven't heard nothing about no 60-40, 70. We haven't heard no numbers in a while, right? We ain't hear you just said we ain't heard no numbers with Canelo. Only thing we heard was 40 million, 50 million. We ain't heard no numbers with this Ugas fight and the fight is being made. We ain't heard no numbers where Pacquiao fight was damn near made. Now all of a sudden, we're hearing all kind of numbers. With as soon as they say TC, oh 60-40, TC. He gonna have to accept 60-40. Come on, bro. We gotta keep it 100 across the board. Either get the
Okay, so let's
fight
keep it
done.
100. Let's keep it 100. He was with Bob, and Bob was the one that first started throwing numbers out.
That's a
No,
fact.
Earl did that 60-40,
No, no,
bro.
No,
Scott.
no.
No,
Bob
Scott.
said he can do the fight 40-40-20 or 45-45-10. And that's when Spence was like, nigga, 60-40. Fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Yeah, well,
That's how
Bob
that
said
shit
Bob
started.
initially said 50. No, well, Bob initially said 50-50 because like I could play the interview. When they asked Earl Spence when he said 60-40, he says the interviewer said, "Well, we've heard, Bob said 50-50, but you think it should be something different." And then Earl said, "I think it should be 60-40, but I will let Al know what I'm worth for blah 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 blah. We don't need to go down that road." Bob Arum is the first person who started talking about splits because once they came into the welterweight division, and Bob Arum said he came out talking because Al Heyman don't speak, right? So it was Bob who started. Bob came out and said Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter wasn't elite. They just want Spence. People started talking to him. He started all that, and he brought up it should be 50-50. We got the money with ESPN. We got a blank check. We got all of this. And then that's when the 60-40 talk came out. And it was done at the right time. It wasn't just like a counter, like, oh, 50-50. They waited until Spence fought on pay-per-view against Mikey. And then they waited for Bud to fight against Amir Khan, and they saw the numbers, and then that's when they said, I think it should be 60-40, which makes
Oh,
sense.
that'll work. But we can't keep throwing Bob in there, bro, because Bob is a dinosaur bone right now. So we
Yeah,
can't.
but the
I
but the
I
but
like the
the
history
reason we
though.
can,
We can use Bob no more because we're here.
yeah, but
No, no.
hold on,
That's
hold on,
where it
hold on, hold on,
started
one
at.
second, one
Okay.
second. The reason that the reason that I will is because this is what I've said. Terrence Crawford's whole idea, his whole demeanor on this situation stemmed from Bob. What Bob said, listen, what Bob said, Terrence
Ice
Crawford has
cream
been
is
with
here.
Bob Arum in the welterweight division since 2018. It's going on 2022. So almost an entire 4 years. Whatever Bob said about negotiations in the public, Terrence Crawford co-signed it. He said this. He co-signed it. He said the same thing. He continued to say the same thing. And even when he left Bob, he's still saying the same thing. So that's that is what I've always said has been my issue with Terrence Crawford is that he has been so poisoned about the other side by Bob Arum because he had to go along with whatever Bob Arum was doing that he hasn't let it go. And that's what I'm saying.
Would you let it
Maybe
go, bro?
it's a good thing that he's going to MTK Global because maybe they could show up at the table and come back to him and say, listen, bro, we just gonna be realistic with you. This is what it is. And he got to be ready to accept
How
it.
you know
And
they ain't
I
told
don't
him
have
that?
an exact number, but I'm just
How you
saying,
know they ain't told him that?
right? Well, we don't know.
Yeah, like you never know.
We
Shit.
don't know. But the
Yeah.
point is, whether if they told him that or didn't tell him that, he's still saying the same thing he was saying when he was with Bob. So when
Mhm.
we just try to dismiss Bob, Terrence Crawford wasn't talking business. Terrence Crawford before was only counteracting and agreeing with what Bob said because that's who he was using to help him get the Spence fight. So he
I
had to
mean,
go along with what he said.
he kind of reiterated at the end of the Porter fight when he
Mhm.
asked the crowd, "Well, who the king of the division now?
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to imply? Because you still only got one belt. So what are you saying?" And then he put up a post the other day talking about ain't nothing changed.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so one thing that we look to change is your opinion on the fight.
I mean, they both got to be realistic though, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't like Earl of motherfucking uh Mikey Garcia either. So they
Uh,
both got to be realistic
What you
about the
mean?
situation.
You
But they
elaborate on
not
that.
like
I need
It
clarity on
ain't
that,
like
Dreeko.
Earl doing numbers either. I mean, okay,
But you
what
said Earl's not
three
a
hundred
Mikey
thousand?
Garcia though.
He's doing more than Earl. I mean, he's doing more than TC. But it's not like Earl is a rock star out here either.
all right,
yeah.
check
You know
us
what I'm
Yeah,
out.
saying?
but
Hey, Drake,
yeah,
hold
but
up. Hey,
listen,
Quanah,
they're in the
Let me
same
break it down
neighborhood.
for you.
They're in the same.
Okay,
What you
Real quick,
say? Y'all
I'm gonna
talking
let you
to?
cook, Karan. Let me just say this. I'm just
Yeah.
responding to Drico. But the thing is, they're in the same neighborhood when it comes to numbers in terms of neither one of them are
See,
in the millions. Hold on one second. Neither one
uh-huh.
of them are in the millions. Neither one of them are over 500,000. They're in the same stratosphere, so to speak. It's just that in that stratosphere, Crawford is his numbers are less than half of Earl's. Regardless, if your numbers is less than half of a person, then you have to be realistic and say I have to take some type of
I
short.
I said that.
all right.
We've been saying that. I don't even know why I let y'all draw me into this number shit,
Can
bro.
I go
I don't even
now?
want
Well,
to talk about that. I
All right,
want to
Drake.
fight, bro. I want to
Drake,
see a
listen.
motherfucking fight. I don't care what the numbers is.
We all
I
want to
don't
see
care.
the fight. That's why we worried about the numbers because the numbers is
Yeah.
what's stopping the fight. Now let
No,
me
that ain't
go.
none of my business.
so
I don't care
If it's
about the
so
stopping the
numbers.
fight, it's all about business.
listen,
I want to see the
because
fight.
what I would like to do with this show, because we could go back and forth about the numbers and stuff, and we tend to do that quite a bit on this podcast. I want to kind of still I want to keep it on topic for today's topic, which is Jerron Boots in it. So, Karan, you're from Philly. You
Yeah.
Philly born and bred. You's my neighbor. You know what I'm saying? We talk for many a day in person. My question to you is what what do you how do you see Terrence Crawford and Jerron Boots Ennis matchup?
Okay. Now to begin with, he still got to go to PBC to get that fight, right? Or Showtime.
He doesn't have to go
Showtime.
to PBC
Showtime.
technically to get the fight. He has to go to Cameron Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
PBC, just to reiterate, Jerron Boots Ennis has a contract with Showtime.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
PBC though is a TV show, and they somehow because they did all that business with Floyd and everything, PBC puts their stamp on Showtime. But Ennis don't have they don't need to talk to Al Heyman about anything when it comes to
Okay.
Jerron Boots Ennis.
All
They
right.
need to
Now,
go to Cameron Duncan
Duncan.
and Showtime.
Wasn't that his old promoter to begin with?
Oh yeah,
Do they see the thing is okay? First, you got to look at do they still have a good relationship? Do they have a working relationship? You know what
I
I
don't see
mean?
why they wouldn't.
I don't know because Bob was stiffing boy for the money for a while.
Man, what the fuck do Bob got to do with this right here, man?
I just said how it had to do with it. When Bob took over Crawford from Duncan, he was still probably paying boy for a certain amount of fights.
Mhm.
And like in most cases, they had to take Bob to court to get the money. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I asked about how the relationship is.
Right.
You
Well,
dig what I'm saying?
let's just say the relationship is good. My question
Okay,
is,
cool. The relationship is good.
mhm,
That'd be a hell of a fight, but I don't see Crawford taking that fight.
And can you elaborate
All
on
right, for
why?
one, there's a possibility he could lose, which will mess up the Spence fight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you
And
think
and
it's
at the same time, the Boots fight ain't a big money fight
Yep.
at all.
Yeah.
Actually, it's going to be a pay cut fight.
Yeah. Just
And I'm
as
not trying to slander Crawford, but it is what it is.
I see that. You're right.
I don't see Crawford willing to take a pay cut. For no, if he don't want to take the 40%
Well,
Spence,
not for that.
don't.
Like that's a risk. That's a huge risk, bro.
But despite the risk, his hang up is going to be any pay cut that he's going to have to take to get a fight. He don't come across as a person willing to negotiate for real, especially if it ain't in his favor.
Yeah.
I mean, I just watched an interview the other day, of old John, where he was talking about, if a reporter isn't favorable to him, he's not gonna give him an interview. Everybody not a yes man.
Yeah. I agree.
true? So from what I'm hearing from Booster's camp is that they they're not the money is not as important to them as the
It would be the
opportunity.
Crawford though.
What do you mean?
I don't see Showtime giving him 5 million.
Nah, not with this
I
fight
don't,
right now.
I don't see Crawford making us think about money like that, bro.
He
You know
making
what
us
I'm
think
saying?
about money with the Spence fight, and it's more money.
I mean, I think that's just posturing. I think just because it's Spence, you know what I'm saying? And they got that rivalry going on. But you don't hear about Bud. I mean, he a frugal dude when you look at it. He got what, a five
We're not
bedroom
talking
house.
about him being frugal.
He
We're
got a
talking about his
four.
ego
I mean,
and what
he
he
ain't
feels as
really.
though he's done in the sport. Because that's what he
But you
bring up
can't
all the
have
time
it.
about Spence.
You can't have it both ways, Karan. You can't say the dude is a poor businessman. Now all of a sudden he brilliant and he wants to
I've
negotiate this.
never said he was a brilliant businessman. Bomac still was management. I would never say that.
Oh shit. Damn.
Shots fired.
Yes.
I mean, but
I
you
mean,
turning it
seriously.
into you not saying that, but that's what you turning him. He would never accept that amount of money. But we don't know because he took
Okay,
less bread before, right?
listen. Check this out.
He's on
Boots,
record for.
hear
But
me,
wait a
hear me
minute,
out, Drew.
Karan.
Hear
He
me out,
he.
Drew.
Okay, go ahead.
Boots ain't made 1 million, right? They're
He
not
what?
really going to take a chance on putting that fight on pay per view, which means it's going to be on regular TV. So that 6 million he got for Porter might get cut in half, and that's less than what he was getting from his second deal with ESPN. I don't see Bo
Ac-
accepting it.
I
According to
That's what
y'all,
I'm
he
saying.
took less
I
money
believe
before then.
I believe that fight can go on pay per view.
Yeah,
I believe that
yeah.
fight could go. I believe
I don't
right
think
now
so.
it's perfect because
Hell, they
Crawford
putting
is not
everything
under.
else on pay per view.
Yeah, Crawford is not on ESPN. He. More people would be interested in. Let me tell you
Okay.
something. Whether people believe it or not, Terrence Crawford versus Deron Boots Ennis is a bigger fight than Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter. That's a bigger fight.
I don't know. I can't say that because Boots don't have a following like that. He has less of a following than Porter. Now, to be honest with you, I thought the Porter fight was going to succeed. I thought it was going to do similar numbers to the Spence fight.
Oh,
That's
I
what I
didn't.
thought.
Oh, I didn't.
I mean, I didn't
Yeah,
think it would
y'all.
do the
One
exact
more,
numbers,
one
but
second,
I
y'all.
figured it
One
would have been
second.
closer.
1 second, y'all. It's 33 people in the chat, and it's only
37.
16 likes, baby. Press that like button for me. If you hate my guts, y'all press that like button. If y'all hate Kwame, press that like button. If y'all hate Goon, press that like button.
If
If
you
y'all
love us,
hate
true hate
Johnson,
it.
you know
Oh, they
that
gonna press it then.
if y'all love us to death, press it twice.
Well, don't press it twice. Press it 3 times. You press it twice, that means you're gonna take the like off.
Yeah,
So press it
delete
Oh
three
yeah,
Yeah.
press it 3 times.
Now, this is what I'm saying,
Thank
right,
y'all. We
Drake?
appreciate y'all. We trying to do something over
Yeah,
here. We're
and,
building over here.
real quick, also, Jay Rod said, Kwame, y'all need a super chat. Well, we working on that. It comes with the channel becoming monetized by likes, and also
Subscriptions.
content
Subscribers.
and watch hours. So in the meantime, you guys can hit the Cash App that's rolling across the bottom of the screen, uh, and support. We already got a Cash App in from a good brother earlier. We appreciate it. Y'all want to support? The channel just hit the cash out. We ain't begging,
So
but just show some appreciation. We
it
love
ain't too out of
donations.
bed.
Yeah, we
Now,
appreciate
Drake,
everything. Yes.
check us out. I asked, remember, in one of the groups earlier, Tamika, somebody was asking the question. I asked her about the fights that y'all was naming. Which one you thought the fights he could get 5 million from? And I think it was Boots, and two other people. You know what I'm saying? He might be able to get five for the Taylor fight. If he take the Spence fight, he's going to get between 10 and 15. All right. And if he's complaining about that, I don't see him settling for 3, 4 million because that's less than what he was getting. That's not the
I'm.
impression I get from Crawford.
I. I
Yeah,
don't know.
trolling. Yeah, trolling. I just
Yeah,
put a link
hey,
in there for you, Keon, if you want it.
yeah.
Keon,
I just man, listen. Kai, I just want to see them fight, bro. I mean, I want him to fight Boots right now, because I think he'll beat Boots right now. Next year, I think Boots will give him more of a problem. But right
yeah.
now, I got TC probably beating Boots up with unanimous decision.
Beating them
That's what
up.
I got.
You got them
And
beating
like,
them
and
up.
this is and like this the main issue, right? And y'all ain't really looking at it. No
Uh-huh.
promoter is breaking down his door to get with him. So who
I
gonna
don't know
pay for
why
the fight?
not. I don't know why not.
Check this out. Everything gets leaked for the most part.
Right.
We ain't
I
heard
don't know
nothing
why
about
not, bro. Listen, I can promote TC, bro, and because of who he is. How can
you
you
don't have a
not?
TV deal. So
But how?
what that
But
mean?
listen, how can you not? If you're a promoter, your job is to promote, and this dude got all of these accolades. How can you, as a promoter, say I can't even promote him? How can
Okay,
you do that? It's a
can I
trick in
tell
the
you?
game.
No, can I tell you why?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to say the B word. All right,
Oh
I'm gonna have to say
man.
the B word.
Oh, he got the Bob though, bro. We can't use
But listen,
Bob.
listen,
Bob is
listen, listen.
gone, man.
No, this is the thing though. But
Oh.
listen, Dree, the slander that he put on his name and the fact that he said boy is hard to work with, he don't like to sign contracts on time, and I can't make no money.
Yeah,
And then the
that
numbers come
screwed
out
him.
for the
Bro,
quarter to back that
bro.
crap up.
Do
Let me
we
tell you
all
something.
agree?
To keep
Go
it
ahead.
100, real quick, Drake. To keep it 100, if Bob Aaron never said that negative stuff about Bud in the media like that, Eddie Hearn would have signed him.
That
Eddie
ain't. But
Hearn give
listen,
everyone
bro.
money.
Bob can say whatever he want to say about TC. TC is still who he is, bro. See what I'm
Yeah, but
saying? I could call
numbers
you
verify what
Kyron.
Bob was
I
saying.
could call you a SOB. I can call you this, that, and the third. But guess what? You still Kyron Johnson at the end of the day, and you still got your accolades. So I don't no, bro.
Go, yo,
Uh-uh.
Mo, you there?
Yeah. What's up, yo?
All right, so I'm asking you, right?
Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I'm running
All right.
upstairs. I'm right back.
So look, Drake, this is what I'm saying. With all his accolades, with all his belts, with all his achievements, ain't nobody rushing to knock down his door to sign him.
What Earl? What's Earl's accolades?
We're not talking about Spence. We're talking about Crawford. We're talking about the
Exactly.
free
Oh, you
agent
said
Crawford.
Earl. Okay, I'm
Listen,
sorry. I'm sorry, bro.
listen. We're
Yeah.
talking about the free agent Crawford that just had bad numbers on his last fight, worse than the con numbers.
So you saying that TC cannot be promoted because of them promoters say
No,
he can't
what
be
I'm saying
promoted?
is Bob has slandered him so bad that it's going to make anybody that deal with him cautious about dealing with him.
Right.
And the first
But
hiccup that he gives, listen, and the first hiccup that he give about anything that Bob said about him, they're gonna leave him alone.
Yep. It's
he
true.
didn't he didn't Bob didn't say anything that was like about his character though, bro.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
Only
did.
thing Bob
Bob
said
said
was,
that nigga don't sign contracts. We couldn't promote the Lomachenko fight because he sat on the contract for 2 weeks. That cost
but
promoters what?
that's not nothing personal. That's what I'm saying.
That
See, if
it's
if
not a
if Bob
personal. It's business.
if if Bob had said came out and said, listen, I can't work with this dude. He's loud, he obnoxious, he this, that, and the other, boom, boom, boom. Then that's when I can see the promoter saying, okay, well, we don't want to deal with this dude. He
Actually,
got like
actually,
He said that.
actually, hold on a second, Karan. Dreeko, actually, I disagree with that. A promoter don't care about that being
I'm
loud,
back, y'all.
obnoxious, and all that. That they're not gonna care
No,
about that.
y'all didn't let me finish saying what I was saying, but go ahead,
Okay.
finish.
I'm just
Go
saying
ahead.
that's not gonna hurt you as much as another.
That's what I
Um,
just told Karan. I just told him. That's not nothing. What
But
Al
Bob said
said
that
was,
though.
I mean,
He
what
said,
Bob
"I'm done with him. I'm gonna leave it up to somebody else to mess with him."
what Bob said wasn't personal. So he didn't say we can't work with you. He's hard to work with. This, that, and the
mhm.
third. Boom, boom, boom. See, all Bob said was we can't make money off of him.
No,
That's
That's
all
Dreek, that's
Bob
not
said.
all he
That's not
said.
that's
personal,
the
That,
worst thing you can say in business, bro.
Yeah,
Business is not
bro.
I gotta
business is
Then
about
listen.
making money.
How
yeah.
how can you say that when this man is who he is, bro? This man
But
has
who
more
he is
accolades.
yeah, but his
He
who
he
he
has
is who he is.
he
Listen,
had
Dreeko, who he is to a promoter.
bro. Y'all
Is it,
hating now, bro.
no, we
Y'all
not.
hating.
You
it's
gotta
not
you
Yes,
gotta
y'all
be
hating.
able
hate.
to receive the message, Dreeko.
No,
Who he
y'all
is
got to
could
be able to receive it.
but Dreeko, but what you're saying, none of it is backed by anything but your opinion and what we're
Bro.
telling you. What we're you're telling us about what
But
your hold on, Drake. You're telling us
yeah,
about what your opinion is about Bud, his accolades, and I get all that.
that
But
ain't
what
opinion. That's a fact.
It
listen,
is a fact.
but yeah,
That's a
it's a
total
fact.
fact.
But as
It's a
I said
fact
before, he had the same accolades when he fought Sean Porter, and they didn't make no money off the fight like that. It was
because
the
they
number
didn't
was low.
promote him, bro. They
They
Yeah,
didn't
promoted that
promote
fight.
him. Right now,
They promoted that fight.
Bob is like a mad single female right now. So
Yeah, Bill
anything come
smoking
out,
too,
y'all
but
didn't
they don't
believe
promote
Bob. Yeah, y'all didn't believe Bob before. Y'all don't believe shit Bob say. Y'all say, "Oh, Bob
it.
the
Hey,
biggest
Drake.
liar is in
But
the book." But
Bob
now,
has numbers to support it. Is the
but
difference? It's not about believing what Bob
but
says.
bro, so
There's a
do
record.
TC.
No, he
TC
don't.
got numbers.
Yes, he does.
TC's a three. TC's a three division world
What does that
champion.
got Drika? What I got to do with? What does that have to do with someone pressing a
We
button
talking about
on
the
pay per view?
product. If of course if you don't promote nothing, you ain't gonna get shit back, bro.
But hold up, hey,
That's a
Drake.
gimme.
They
They
promoted
didn't
that
promote
fight
him
like
like he
no
did
other
on
fight.
No,
Matinho.
no, they
For real.
didn't, bro. No, they
Yes,
didn't.
listen. During the Harry
No, they
Shakur fight, they had Crawford Porter in that ring.
bro. Y'all cannot
Yep.
tell me that they promoted TC the right way, bro. No, no,
I say they
no,
promoted that fight.
no, no.
Listen,
We ain't even gonna do the technical.
Not like Lomachenko.
whether it was the right way, whether it was the wrong way, he had three fights and they weren't successful in the eyes of.
Because he
Yeah, but
was not promoted,
Drico. That's like Drico. That's like, come on now. You an engineer. You work for Kellogg's, right?
brother.
If hold on a second. If your supervisor came, if you supposed to have something done for your supervisor, and your supervisor came to you and said, "Where is it?" and you said it's not done, and then he says, "Why it's not done?" and you say, "Well, this and that." They don't care. They don't care nothing about that. All they care about is was it done or not.
So y'all
When it
take a
comes to
Bob
hold on a
side,
second, Drake. When it comes to pay per view, there is nothing that is more important than making money. That is the reason it's a pay per view fight. There is
bro.
nothing. There's
Can we?
nothing in the pay per view fight that trumps how many times people press the button. We dealing with the big
But
leagues now. We're dealing
but
with
bro,
huge networks. If
we
he's not
all can
making the
agree.
money,
We
they're
all
not
can
going to
agree
do
on
it.
this panel that Bob done sabotaged TC career. So
I said
that
that.
right there should need to
That's
be
what we
up
said.
for.
That's what you fighting against, bro. That's what
That,
we
no,
saying.
but listen, that no, I'm saying TC is who he is. We talking about another promoter picking him up. Why wouldn't he? Another promoter wouldn't pick up a three division,
Not
six
if
belt holder world, the arguably the
not if
second
they're
most
not if they're
decorated
scared.
man.
First of
Hold
all,
on.
not if they're
Oh,
scared they're not gonna make money. If they're
bro,
scared,
that's what I'm saying, bro. If you're a promoter, that's your job, bro. He's more marketable by his accolades than anybody at
All right, but this is what you
147.
got to understand,
Yeah.
Drake. Listen,
Let's keep it 100, y'all. I
one
know
of the
y'all
biggest
don't like
promoters.
Bud.
Listen,
Karan, can I get two sentences in?
sure, my brother, go
I
ahead.
understand that y'all don't like Bud. Y'all don't understand. Y'all say, well, damn, Bud is the poorest businessman it is out there. But then in the same sentence, y'all saying, well, shit, he should do more dumb shit. Come on, we can't have it like
no,
that, bro.
I
Either
don't.
we know that we know that TC was not promoted properly. Then y'all say we can't believe Al. Then y'all say, okay, Al said this about TC, so it's got to be true because he got the numbers. We all know that Al didn't promote TC. That's why his numbers is up there. If Al promoted TC, 6-year knockout streak going, three
Mm-hmm.
division world 2 times. Come on, bro. Let's keep it 100. We gotta keep it 100 here, man.
All right,
Let's
but
go.
see, the
I'm
thing is
done.
this, right?
I'm done.
There's a lot of things that go into that equation. One, okay, I agree. He wasn't promoted right. All right. But
Yep.
two, he wasn't fighting the toughest people he should have been fighting to get his
Yep.
name out there.
True.
All
Bruh.
that comes
So
together.
did Tank Davis. Tank Davis ain't fought no.
Tank
See,
Davis have more than he do.
you always trying to deflect. Let's stay on Crawford.
Right.
All right. I'm not here to bash you, Crawford or you. I'm just here to express what I believe. All right. Bob did say he was hard to work with. He said he don't sign contracts when he's supposed to. That's
Mm.
money. That's advertising that they paid for that they can't use because he ain't signed a damn. On top of not making money off the fight.
Right. That's a promoter's nightmare, bro. I'm just being honest.
Bruh,
Bro,
we know
that was
we got
Lomachenko.
that
We
point.
wouldn't even have this
Go
conversation
ahead.
if he was Lomachenko.
Right.
Um, you,
That's what I'm
you,
saying. That's what I'm
you,
saying.
you, you know, I have to say, man, as a Bud fan, I think he's one hell of a fighter. I think he's arguably, the best guy at the division. Him and Spence both are for different reasons. But this is exactly why I was one of the guys years ago fussing and fighting with everyone that was a Bud fan about him resigning with Top Rank. Because
Thank you.
listen, I saw this shit 5 years ago, man, when Bob Arum, was hyping up all these other white fighters, when
Mhm.
Lomachenko and and
Yep.
and this guy and that guy, and he had the nerve to come out and say Loma was a better fighter.
Mhm.
Teddy Atlas disrespecting Bud Crawford, in public in front of everyone, rating Lomachenko higher than him with the loss to fucking Salido, and only 12 fights in his professional career. I mean, come on, man. At some point, I love Bud to death, man, but we got to be honest with ourselves here, man. Bud is grown. And he's smart enough to know better than that, man. And Bob Arum treated this dude like old buddy off Django, like he was in
Mhm.
Candyland. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And I didn't like that as a black man having to sit back and watch him go through that and put himself through that. Now I understand being from the streets and feeling like, Bob Arum was some sort of white savior figure, that took him and lifted him up out of poverty and gave him and his family a chance. But Bud should have realized, along with Bomac, that Bob Arum didn't do that shit for you. You did it for you with your talent and your hard work and God and your team. You understand? And Bud has never been willing to fully bet on himself. If he would have did this a few years ago, man, his career probably would have took a totally different trajectory than what it did now. He
And you
allowed
know what
Bob
though?
Arum.
Listen, let me say one thing, please.
Oh, go
Bob
ahead,
talked
bro.
to him early when he took the Mikey and the Manny fights from him. Those were the biggest fights he could
Bro,
have fight him. He could have got them while they were all with Top Rank.
bro. And Bob Arum had the nerve, like I said in the live video I did earlier, to come out of nowhere and, well, I took the fight from Crawford because I didn't want Pacquiao to get hurt. Like, are you kidding me, man?
Mm.
So you sabotage this guy
Facts.
purposely, and then Bob Arum,
I
disrespects
agree.
him, talks this craziness about how he can't make money off of them, et cetera, et cetera. And then you turn around and you still continue. The Bud is almost 35 years old and he's just now leaving Bob Arum. I'm like Floyd Mayweather, Mikey Garcia, Miguel Cotto, and freaking who else? De La Hoya didn't teach you
Pacquiao.
anything. Pacquiao, they didn't teach you. Pacquiao left and went right to the PBC.
So
Made
did Mikey.
made
And they
20
And
all
million
I'm
got
not.
fighting
big fights
Broner.
And
immediately.
I want to clarify something. I am not saying it would have been a guarantee that Terrence Crawford would have gotten the fight had he signed with the PBC. But listen, I'm gonna say this real quick. The whole reason why, in my opinion, a lot of this shit got held up outside of Spence and Al Heyman is because Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, and Danny Garcia ducked Earl Spence Jr. until the bitter end, until they had no choice. If those guys would have fought Spence in the time frame that they should have been fighting him, we wouldn't be having this conversation more than likely. But Sean Porter did not want to fight Spence or Crawford. And he admitted on camera on Fight Hype that he didn't want to fight Crawford until he had nothing to offer anyone at that point, and he needed the opportunity. Keith Thurman
You shouldn't even got that fight either.
Huh?
Sean Porter shouldn't even got that fight.
Well,
bro, I didn't even want to see. Truth be told, I didn't want the fight, and I'm on video saying it.
Me too.
But he needed it though.
He did. Bud did need it, and it was a good test, to show where he's at. Within the top five, of the top guys in the division. So I appreciated it, but I knew I saw the writing on the wall with the fight. But aside from that, man, I just think it's a real shame that all of these guys were allowed to be on the same promotional team or same entity, I should say, as Earl Spence Jr., and they ducked that man like that. Danny Garcia wouldn't even go near him until he lost his belt. Sean Porter was backed into a corner. Keith Thurman still ain't fought the man, and didn't even start calling him out until he had nothing to offer. And that's shameful, man.
But there was another aspect of that too, because from the time Horn had the belt till last summer, no welterweight from the PBC was ranked by the WBO.
That's true.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So again, T, I'm gonna ask you the same question we asked Karan.
Okay.
Boots versus Bud. Would you like to see that next? And also, what's your prediction to that fight?
Well, I can tell you right now, I would absolutely love to see that, man. Especially as a Bud fan. I mean, how could I not, man? I mean, you guys know I've given my perspective on the fight, and I think Boots is actually capable of beating him. But the flip side to that is that I think Crawford can beat him too. I think initially, if you're talking about a styles perspective, I think Boots' first 3 rounds is going to give him a ton of trouble with this movement. He's explosive, but I think where Terrence Crawford can capitalize on Boots' flaws is Boots tends to leave himself open. And like Crawford, he has a lot of pride and ego, which means he too can be drawn into a firefight. I think athletically, Boots has a lot of advantages over all of the guys at 147, but I think IQ and experience-wise is where we're going to see it come into play with him against Crawford. I think Crawford will somehow find a way to potentially figure him out. I think it's a very close fight. If I were to edge in favor of Crawford, it would be solely based off of craftiness and experience. And a lot of people don't realize a guy like Boots. You got guys out there in the circuit that haven't made it big, who spar in gyms like Terrence Crawford's gym and many others. So I don't think Boots is some sort of an anomaly that Crawford's never seen before. He's probably had guys come through his gym that had that type of freakish talent and explosiveness that help him get ready. So I think that's another factor that we kind of got to, look at here. A lot of guys go through Bomac and them's gym. But I think it's a terrific fight. It's really close to call. And like I touched on in the group, and a lot of people got mad at me. If I can tell you right now, if Terrence Crawford manages to beat Boots Ennis, and it's, a little bit more on the convincing side, I would wholeheartedly, if him and Spence can't come to an agreement, and I know Charlo is powerful, but Charlo has holes. There's a blueprint to beating him. And I'm going to tell you right now, Crawford, if he carries his power up to 154, he'll be stronger than Harrison. I can tell you that right now.
But how soon would you give him that fight though? If
I
he was to
think
do that?
Crawford, what I think Crawford should do, if he goes in there with Boots, let's say he fights Boots and he beats him and he can take Boots' power, I think one fight at 154 and then roll right into undisputed with the winner of Charlo versus Castano.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you something. In my opinion, if he can do that and become undefeated, undisputed at two different weight classes, and do this with the move up to 154, Jesus, man. I mean, that at that point, all of the legacy talk about what he failed to do for whatever reason, that shit goes out of the window.
So,
Yeah.
question T again: if you had to make a pick today, Boots and Butter is announced. They fighting in 3 weeks. I mean 3 months.
3 months,
Who do you get the edge to and why?
Jesus. I'd have to.
Hey
My
T,
heart say, my
before
heart
you answer
saying,
that, right? I just want to ask you one question. Do you
oh
see that
sure,
as an easy negotiation to make?
yes, yes, I do.
Yeah.
I think I absolutely think it. I think it'd be way easier to make that fight with Boots because Boots is willing and hungry.
Right.
And he Boots will shit, man. Boots will take anything just to get a chance. You
What
Exactly.
know,
about Crawford
All right.
taking?
So
How about Crawford taking five, wanting to spot a 6 million for that fight?
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Hold on. I need him to answer
I'll,
my. I need him to
yeah,
answer my
Kwame.
question because it's a little
I'll,
long
I'll,
winded.
I'll,
So
I'll answer Kwame's question now. Due to track record and proven history, I'll go with Crawford, but it's a close margin, man. You're talking of that 51-49, 50-50 in slight favor of Crawford, literally.
okay,
And,
fair.
and that's a and like I said, that's a fight, man. I mean, it's probably the most dangerous fight for Crawford, even more dangerous than Spence,
I
in my
agree.
opinion.
All
I
right.
agree.
Hey,
I agree
so
with that
so
too.
so question. So another question is by stating that, where does that rank Boots in terms of pound for pound?
Well, I can't fully answer that in terms of pound for
I
pound
definitely can't
because
put him on pound for pound.
and I only say that now. If you're gonna Kwame, if you're, I think I know what you're asking me
Hmm.
essentially. If I had from the eye test, if I had to rank Boots in terms of what I'm seeing from him, I can't lie, man. Uh, Even though I couldn't put him on a pound for pound list, talent wise, he's better than damn near everybody. I just from a pure raw talent perspective and athleticism and explosiveness perspective, I haven't seen anything like him in a long time. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'll get some flack for it, but the best thing or best person I can think to compare Boots to is almost like uh, a slightly unrefined Roy Jones in his
Roy
prime.
Jones.
Yes,
Yep.
I
Yep.
agree. He's
And,
he's
and
he's taking some of Roy Jones's tools. I see he does two things I've seen that Roy Jones does. He does that leaping ass left hook,
that leaping left hook,
and he throws, and also the way he throws his uppercut too is very similar to Roy Jones. He kind of jumps into it in close range. I have Roy Jones' whole career on
You
DVD, so I
you
really
know
studied.
you know what,
oh yeah,
man? Y'all gonna think I'm crazy for saying this, and Kwame know that this is really not my favorite pound for pound of all time. But I see TC Crawford with a little bit of Sugar Ray Robinson in him when it comes to
yeah,
throwing that left hook.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
see that.
Real
Mhm.
quick, salute to AJ. He just put $5 in the Cash App. We definitely appreciate you,
Respect.
man. No doubt. Thank you
Oh,
very
AJ,
much.
he been
Again,
active in the chat too. Shout out, AJ.
I got
always.
to drop something in the Cash App too when I get up off of here.
Yeah, as I said, the Cash App is at the bottom. We definitely appreciate all donations. We appreciate you guys just supporting us, just being in the chat, hitting that like button, and just giving us a platform where we can give you guys our point of view on different topics. So salute to the chat and definitely salute to AJ and everyone else. All right, go ahead, continue cooking, guys.
Yeah. So like I was saying about Boots, I think Boots is incredibly deadly and dangerous, man. I think like I said, even though I have Crawford, the only reason, and as big of a Bud fan as I am, the only reason I have Crawford is experience and craftiness. Because Boots isn't. I don't. I saw things in the Lipinets fight, in the Delorme fight, that just lead me to believe, like, okay, he can at this stage still be figured out by a guy like Crawford.
Mhm.
But if you're not cerebral enough, good luck. Because Boots seems from an athletic standpoint, he's not lying when he says, I feel like I can do everything better than the top guys. His
Mhm.
switch hitting, his athletic explosiveness, how he leaps in, and that uppercut he throws when he gets in close is not even telegraphed. You can't see it coming.
Right.
You know, so
It's
Bud
only
would
one
have.
thing that worry about me with him.
You said what?
It's only one thing that worries me about him, and
What's that?
being a Philadelphia fighter. If y'all know where I'm coming from, a Philly fighter.
Yeah,
So Mildred Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
you get hit,
I,
and like you don't know how he gonna react because like we know how a Philly fighter fights. They all fight that way, but he does not seem like a Philly fighter to me. So I want to see when he
kind of
get
has
hit
a mid
how
kind
to
of has a
react.
Midwest swag to him a little bit.
Huh?
I feel like he kind of has a Midwest swag to him a little bit.
Yeah, he does not seem like a Philly fighter to me, like at all.
Yeah, he and that's my thing is that Crawford, and I said this on the last panel, and it's debatable. It's subjective, depending on who you ask, but seeing Terrence Crawford be able to throw far less punches, we're talking about 30% less punches than Spence, and like put guys lights out, like to where they don't even know where they're at in the ring.
It's dangerous. Yeah, it's dangerous.
But I mean, I'm not trying to say Spence is weak at all by any means, but Spence will wear you down and punish you.
Punish
Crawford
the fuck
will
out of you.
catch you with some weird shit out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, where am I at? If Boots gets hit with something like that from Crawford, and he will, because Crawford will set the trap to catch Boots when he's doing some sort of explosive maneuver, and
You
either
just want
go
to
up
see how you gonna
underneath him.
react to it, right?
Yeah, I want to, and that's why I and for a while when I first saw Boots, I was like, man, I think he could beat everybody. But really studying Crawford, at this stage of Boots' career, I don't know if he would be able to figure Crawford out, but I think Crawford would be able to figure him out. But man, that is a hellified fight.
It is. It
Um,
is. It is.
I mean, Jesus, I would rather see that than Crawford versus Ortiz because I can already see in my mind how Crawford beats Ortiz.
Gotcha. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and introduce uh the best strength and conditioning coach in the game. My brother from another Blu-ray Fitness is in the
Oh,
building.
Blu-ray up in this
There
thing?
he is.
Hell yeah, we brought Blu-ray up in this
Man,
thing, man. You know what I'm
that
saying?
nigga off of get smoked by Boots. What is y'all talking about? I don't even want to. I don't even want to see that fight because I don't want to mess up the Earl fight because Boots will smoke Crawford, man. Period.
Y'all pray and pray and pray for that man downfall,
Well,
don't
I
y'all?
mean, hey, he's absolutely entitled to his opinion. I think it's a great fight, but we still got to see how Boots' chin holds up.
We don't want to mess the money up.
I mean, but for
Bro,
that
don't mess
for
the
that
money.
AT
Don't mess the
T
money. Yeah.
brother T for that
Hey,
fact, we
what's
gotta
going
see
on?
how
What's going on?
Crawford can hold up.
You
Yeah, I was
said
gonna
what?
ask how Terrence Crawford chin gonna hold up is the question.
Well, I tell you right now. In my opinion, I, this is what I've seen from Crawford. Okay, and I'm gonna do a quick deep dive. I promise I'll make this quick.
Yeah, yeah, make it quick because we gotta have some other
We
people
got
get a
blue. We
chance
got
to
Blu-ray
share.
on here.
Yeah.
No, no, no,
I believe.
no, no.
I, be,
Let him cook. I'm listening.
I believe Crawford, when he got hurt by Gamboa, did so because he overstayed his welcome at the weight class. He was already big for the weight class and on his way out. And I think this happens with every fighter at some point in their career when it's time for them to move up. Okay, I think he got careless. And we have to use the analogy here. Like, okay, you take Keith Thurman and Juan Manuel Marquez, right? Manny Pacquiao was older when he went in there with Keith, and Keith hits harder than Marquez. Pacquiao was knocked out cold by Marquez years prior, but when he got in there with Keith, he took all of his clean work. And in my opinion, took more punishment in the Thurman fight than he ever did in the Marquez fight, at least
One,
the fourth one.
let
So,
me interject real quick, T.
yeah, go ahead.
With Manny Pacquiao versus Marquez, there wasn't no drug testing,
Well, I mean, there's that, and I know I
and then
saw the body acne.
and
I
the same
saw the body acne.
yeah, and then the same thing with Keith Thurman, like like the same thing with Keith Thurman as well. With no drug testing. I mean, there wasn't no drug testing because I just find it weird that when Manny Pacquiao fought Keith Thurman, he looked 25. When he fought Ugas, he looked 45. And one fight had VADA, one fight didn't. So
Yeah, yeah, and then there's that. But I tell you right now, drugs don't. Even if he's on halo testing, drugs don't help the chin. So, I mean that's just my theory, right?
so
I
how do you
could be
think?
wrong.
So how do you think Terrence Crawford's chin gonna hold up? Just
I
real
think
quick.
he'll be. I think Terrence will be okay. But I do think he could get wobbled. Absolutely.
I think
I
he get
think
knocked clean out.
I think, and he might. He might. There's no guarantee that he can go in there and hold up. I think he can because I have confidence in my guy. But at the same time, he could go in there and Boots could just run over him. And I tell you right now, if that happened, Boots runs over everyone at 147, not just Terrence Crawford. Okay, if a style like that with the guy who's got that type of an IQ, ring generalship, speed, foot movement, usage of angles, switch hitting ability. If he gets dominated by Boots, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I like Spence too, but I tell you right now, I I'd be hard pressed if he goes in there and dominates a Terrence Crawford like that to say that anyone at the weight class can beat him. That means Ortiz and Rashidi Ellis, anybody else that's coming up. I can't lie, man. Boots is the goods.
All right,
I'll give it to him.
all right, Blu-ray. So you came in and just off the bat just said, like he would destroy Terrence Crawford and he'll fuck up the money and all this. So
Watch Spencer fight.
what's your belief or what's your reasoning behind saying that? What makes you think? Because the way you say it, like it ain't even gonna be close. So I'm just
Because
interested
Bud,
in why you
because
think that.
because Bud don't have a chin. We all know that. I don't know. I don't even know why we in denial. Come on, man. Stop, man. That dude done got rocked by smaller fighters. That dude got rocked by a third grader. Come on, man. Stop.
How can you say Bud don't have a chin and he ain't never been knocked out?
Okay, but watch this. Let him fight Earl Spence. When the fight get made, the truth gonna come out.
Well, we all want to see
He
it.
never been
So
hurt again.
we're not trying to protect Bud from the Spence fight. We want it. If he
Mo,
loses, I'm still going to be a fan.
Mo, stop it, bro.
No, I'm just saying. I guess Spencer ain't never been hurt. I mean, it's boxing.
Everybody get hurt.
Mo.
Bingo. Yeah, that's
Earl
what I'm
got
saying.
Well,
Everybody get hurt.
Earl got days against Arte. We all know that, right?
Yeah, that's
But
what I'm talking about. Like everybody get hurt.
Arte was an undefeated fighter, and he was big. He wasn't no little guy.
True
Right.
that. True that.
Go pull
Well,
up Arte stats. That dude is not little, bro. I don't know what y'all
no,
talking.
no, he's not a little guy.
He was a
And
strong
that dude,
guy.
and that dude is African.
Yeah, he is. I mean, and I'll give it to Earl. He recovered. That's why I never bring that fight up because his recovery was like that, and that takes the heart of a champion to be able to take that and recover. That's what I've always respected about Crawford. And while we're talking about him getting hurt, we got to keep in mind, Mean Machine is Eastern European. That's a little stout fire hydrant built motherfucker. Okay, now he may not look like much, but I could tell from watching him, he's got some crack to him, and a lot of those Eastern European guys
I agree with you.
can hit.
Right?
They have power. Yeah, they do have power though.
Now here's one thing I'm gonna say. When I watched the Earl Spence and Larte fight, and it was an 8-round fight. He got cracked at the end of the 7th round, and in the next round was the only round that Errol Spence lost. And I saw that he slowed down after he got hit. He ain't recovered that quick. He slowed down. He lost the next round. But what I did see out of Earl Spence was physically his body has slowed down because he took a big shot, but he still fought the same way and he still had that dog in him.
That's what I'm getting. He had that heart, man. To keep pushing forward.
Yeah. So
Hey
so
man, Earl can have all of that. What that mean?
I'm just saying just
He gonna
saying
I get
TC
it. I
still
get
gonna
it.
whoop his
I
ass.
get it. I get it. I get it.
Earl still gonna come in there boxing like Frankenstein, one foot in front of the other,
I get Kwame.
jab,
I get
jab,
Kwame your
left
ass
hook.
now.
TC gonna angle his ass off, have his face looking like Sean Porter had it in about the fifth round, and he gonna shut him down about the sixth, seventh, and eighth, and
I
pop
don't
shot the
see
shit
that.
out of Frankenstein.
I
Dreeko, you
don't see that.
don't believe that, Dreeko. You just talking.
Shit. I'm telling you how it is. Why not believe it? What I said was the truth. Earl is slow. He's slow footed. He's flat footed. TC is float like a butterfly. Where's the lie?
Uh, Draco, I'll say this: if Spence works with Blu-ray for that camp, he'll have a better chance. But if he doesn't,
Blu-ray
I've
can't
always
get in
said it.
that.
I've
Blu-ray
always
can't
said
get in
it.
there with Spence.
I've
Blu-ray
always said
can't
it.
get in. I
Listen,
know.
listen.
Hey, listen, I
This
ain't gonna cap because Blu-ray on here. Blu-ray can't get in that ring with Spence. Spence
I didn't.
and Blu-ray get their ass whooped fucking with
I
TC.
didn't. Draco,
I'm just being 100. I see
Draco.
it.
I listen. What I'm getting at is we know strength and conditioning does play a factor. I mean, I'll tell Blu-ray straight up, and I know he'll disagree with me. I have Terrence Crawford by probably in 10th or 11th round stoppage in the fight, and I have my reasonings, and I'm not going to go into the long,
But y'all,
drawn out
oh boy,
analytics because I don't want to take up anyone else's time, and I want to respect the panel. But yeah, for me, I think it's a hell of a fight. I think it's super close, but that fight's not going the distance. And when you got a guy who can out angle you, who can outthink you, um, who can essentially find ways to negate certain things that you do, like your jab, your body attack, your relentless pressure. I mean, I don't know, man. Spence could go in there and show us things we've never seen, but from my perspective, and I like both guys. I just think Bud finds a way to stop him. I do.
Blue, what we
that
missing, man?
dude said he gonna stop Earl Spence. I can't stop
Nope.
laughing.
Well,
I got
yeah.
him stop. I got TC stopping Earl.
I have him stopping. I have him stopping him late. I
But
mean,
y'all,
think about this, Blu-ray.
y'all
Now
this
you're
this
now
must be
you're strength.
this must be a comedy show.
We got an
Hey,
echo, bro.
it's all good. But you're a strength and conditioning coach, right? Me personally, how long has Earl Spence Jr. been at 147?
Remember, he's fought fights at 52. He fought fights at 54 before he came down to 47.
Okay, so looking at his progression throughout his career. All right. And before I even say this, I'm gonna give a disclaimer. I do not think Earl Spence is a weak fighter, but the fact that he went in there with not only Mikey, but Sean and Danny and applied relentless pressure to all three guys and didn't stop either three tells me one or two things. It tells me either he wasn't trying to stop them, or in my opinion, because I lift hella weights. You guys have seen my build, but I'm not a strength and conditioning coach. It may be the latter, that he's overstayed his welcome at the weight class. That's
Can I
kind of
can
what
I
I
answer
believe.
that? Can I answer that, Blue?
I disagree, but
Can I answer that, Blue?
go ahead, brother.
All right. Spence said himself he didn't really apply himself and train for none of them three fights. He didn't have Blu-ray, so we just gonna put that out there and let that be. Because Kwame been mentioning that. But Spence
Yeah,
said himself that he wasn't really dedicated to boxing at the time. You know what I mean? He was partying, he was doing other shit, and he took all three lightly. And even still, right?
Well,
Because you don't talk about skill and slow
well,
feet. He
well
outboxed the boxer.
let me let
Mike
me let
landed
me
33
let, let me
punches in that fight.
let me interject real quick on that, Karan. Like,
All right.
I I I gotta call Cap on that. He trained hard for Danny Garcia because he came out a car accident. He had to rebuild himself. So I won't say
Well,
that he
okay,
didn't train hard.
More so Mikey and Porter though. He did say that.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, he didn't have a choice but to train hard because he was getting back in the ring after that accident.
Right.
I think the big thing is he didn't use number one. He didn't use Blu-ray. I felt like he was trying to prove that something to himself that he could come back and do everything himself. He needed to know
His way.
he needed to
Yeah,
know
yeah,
himself if he was good enough to get in there and beat a welterweight his own by himself his own way without anyone. So and I don't feel like I feel like just the fact that he started sparring late, medical stuff, all of that stuff. Because I remember one time he took a photo and he looked skinny as shit. I mean, one time he had took a photo and people was laughing at him like, "Yo, you look skinny." Like he looked really really small before the Danny Garcia fight, and I think he was just basically working through a lot of things, injuries. I mean, boxing training is hard on your body,
yeah,
and
yeah. It
he
is.
got launched from a car. He was probably dealing with a lot of stuff, not to make no excuses for him, but I mean, it just is what it is. We didn't see the best of him, but
Well,
I would say from the Mikey Garcia fight to uh not Ocampo, the Sean Porter fight.
Sean Porter. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this again. And Blu-ray could co-sign this. I met Blu-ray at the Mikey Garcia fight. I saw her at the weigh-in. He was sitting right behind me, and I looked at him. I said, "Yo," I said, "Blu-ray, you ain't working with Earl for this fight because the way he looked different. He looked frail in a way."
Blu-ray put his
And
head down and
and
laughed. I
Blu-ray,
remember
no,
the
Blu-ray
story.
basically, he tried to play it like a G. So what made you say that? I said, look at him. And then he started laughing. He ain't say
Yeah.
nothing, but he started laughing. And as I said, we went to Papados after, and Earl was there, and he took a picture of me and shook my hand, and he was weak. And that's all on him. He drained himself for Mikey Garcia. He wasn't doing what he's supposed to do. Outside,
And that and Kwame, bingo. That's exactly why one of the first things I said was if he works with Blu-ray, he's going to have a way better chance
right.
because I've seen what him working with Blu-ray does. Okay, and like I said, my prediction for the fight. If you go on my page, my YouTube, I only got one video, and it's a almost hour long breakdown of what I see in Crawford, what he does well, what he doesn't do well, what I see in Spence stylistically, what he does well, what he doesn't do well, how they would mesh together, and how each guy would attempt to adapt to the other. And that was long before any of the injuries. So I'm not one of these fake ass, Bud fans that just hate Spence
Oh, we know
and
that.
wants him to lose. My prediction is solely based off of what I see in their styles. And like I said, I could be wrong because I mean, truth be told, I have the fight. I waver in between 55-45 and 51-49. So that means that Spence is very capable of beating him as well. And that's what makes it such a great fight. Because if it weren't that type of a close fight, what would we even be talking about? It'd just be Spence is just gonna go in there, jab, 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 body, 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 stop him.
I got a question to ask.
Oh, sure.
Kwame,
Yes, sir.
when you was just saying it, thing about Blu-ray,
Mm-hmm.
not training Spence for those fights,
Mm-hmm.
and when you said he was frail and everything,
Mm-hmm.
would you be willing to keep it 100, like if that was Bud and he wasn't doing the things that he was supposed to? Would
Yeah,
you
I
be
already said that. I already said that. I felt the version that Spence that fought Sean Porter wouldn't have beat Terrence Crawford. And it wasn't just a strength thing. It was a mental thing to me. It was that you can't just come into training camp and do a fat camp and get ready for a fight like that against someone like Terrence Crawford who fights Kell Brook and 2 days later is in the gym. You
Right.
can't mentally. You can't. Mentally, like Andre Ward says, that shit's going to show up in the ring.
Yep.
It's
Some point.
it's going to show up. So yeah, I definitely keep it 100. I mean, I've said that before. Uh, One of the things about working out with Blu-ray as well, I think that's very underrated is your state of mind to even be able to do those workouts. How much sharper it makes you in other areas. People who work out, they know that when you work out, it
Yep.
just make you better in all other areas. So the
Yeah.
level, the level of concentration and connection he has to have to himself to do 700 push-ups in 30 minutes. That's going to make his discipline in the ring even to a different level. And I always try to explain that, and that was the not just the strength part of it against Sean Porter, but I felt like that part of Earl Spence was missing the ring too, and that's why we saw his face swollen up and the fight looked like that. Me personally, that's what I saw, and that's why I didn't put any stock into what I saw, except that I was getting ready to get off the train because, like I said, I'm a Spence supporter. I spent my money to travel to his Mikey Garcia fight, for all the way from Philadelphia. And this guy's saying after the fight, when it was time for him to do his push-ups and stuff, when he was with I forgot to do Thomas something. He said he was playing the game. He didn't even do push-ups. I didn't even do sit-ups.
About Thomas Hill.
Thomas Hill. He's just saying I didn't do nothing. I didn't do push-ups. I didn't do sit-ups. I'm like, that's why I respect. That's why at that point I'm like, I respect Bud, because see the difference between Spence in that moment and Bud and even Mayweather, who had 10 times the bag that Spence ever had. He still was going to train and work his ass off, whether he was fighting Andre Berto or he was fighting Manny Pacquiao. And that's why I had started to lose some respect for Earl from that standpoint. I had started to lose respect for him, and just as a standpoint, because I'm not a fan. Like I said, I'm a supporter. I'm taking my money, and the reason I'm paying for your fights and coming to your fights is because I'm trying to make you like do my part to make you like a Floyd Mayweather, where people come into people pay him more because we traveling and boosting economies where he's fighting to make his worth a lot higher. So when me doing that, he wasn't putting his all in the stuff. That shit kind of turned me off. I'm not gonna lie. But I also saw it for what it was in the ring too. What he was, it translated into the ring, and all I'm gonna say is we're not gonna get that version of Errol Spence in the ring with Terrence Crawford. We're not gonna see that version. He know what it is. We ain't gonna see that version. So, um, like I said, I can't wait to see the fight. I don't care about pretty much anything else. But I agree with what Blu-ray saying that Boost is gonna Boost if Bud go fight Boost, Boost gonna fuck the money up. I believe that.
Shit, you saying that like Spence just gonna scoop past Ugas
Bruh,
too?
let me say something real
It'll be the
quick,
brakes on
y'all.
Ugas.
Hey, Keon, I'm sorry, this our brother Keon. Everything boxing, Arizona in the
What
house.
what
What's up, Key?
what's going down with it, man? So let
All
me
right.
say something. Let me say something. Y'all keep on talking about. I'm getting an echo. I don't know if it's me or one of y'all. Hello,
Can
yo.
you
I
still
had it
got it?
too.
I'm getting a bad echo. I
Let me
don't know who
see.
that is.
Hold on. What I'm gonna do real quick, I'm gonna mute everybody besides Keon. That way we will see. Keon, you
Was it
still getting
me?
an echo? Key,
All right.
you still getting an echo?
Uh, nah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm still getting a bad echo. Let me go back out. Let me go
Yeah,
out and come back in real
yeah. Go
quick.
back out and come back in.
Drop the link for me in the chat.
I got you.
All right, good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Dree,
Yeah.
go out and come back in because I got an echo, but it's not really bad, but it could be worse for someone else. Just do me that favor. Go out and come back in.
Now, Zenith in the chat had said something about how he clearly wasn't 100%. But I want to say something, and Kwame, I talked with you about this. Me personally, man, I honestly felt like the Danny Garcia performance was one of the better performances I've seen from Spence, where he showed a little more versatility, a little bit more movement, a little more head movement than what we've usually seen from him. I liked that performance against Danny a lot. Why do people give him such flack about that? Because I think he did a fantastic job in that fight.
Okay. Keon, you still got a echo?
No, I'm good now.
All right,
So
go
I
ahead.
guess that was
Go ahead and
yeah,
go.
that was on my end. So one thing, I got a couple things, right? A lot of people talking about Errol Spence and the Sean Porter thing. Errol Spence was probably 65, 75%, 65, 70% of himself in the Sean Porter fight. Like y'all said, the man didn't do no strength and conditioning work. The man said he ain't do not one push up or one sit up, and he was still able to go out there and beat Sean Porter. Let me show y'all what this man looked like. Right? Let me show y'all what. Let me remind y'all what he looked like in that weigh-in. Hold on. Look at this shit.
That definitely ain't what no fucking EJ look like.
You know what I'm saying? The man looked like he had just came out of rehab or some shit. Real talk. You know what I'm saying?
God
So,
damn.
and then if I go to the picture where he looked in the Kell Brook and the Lamont Peterson, he looked like a whole different person. You know when the nigga come out of the pen and they swole, and they ripped up, right? And then you see him 8 months later and you like, God damn, what happened to you, homie? Because they ain't been doing nothing, right? So basically what I'm saying by that is that man was good enough to go in there and beat the best version of Sean Porter looking like that. What you think he finna do to Bud Crawford when he touched Bud Crawford and he in tip top condition? When he doing everything he's supposed to be doing. Now, let me ask you something, Dreeko. And Dreeko, you my brother, right? But Dreeko, let me take you down memory lane. You were one of the biggest Errol Spence fans that they was. So now you on here, you talking about that Errol Spence, he's slow, he flat footed, he this and that. Well, I want to ask you, Dreeko, what made you a big fan of Errol Spence in the first place? If he ain't shit, he's slow, he flat footed, he all that. I just want to know what
Take your
turned you
time.
on to Errol Spence in the first place.
I like Earl's story, so that's
Oh,
why I
so
like.
so 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 you liked his
Yeah,
story. It wasn't his skills in the ring. You just liked his story. That's man. Come on, Dreeko.
yeah, I like the story because he
Man
came
said,
out with the no. When he came out with that. I beat Floyd Mayweather and sparring. I stopped Adrian Broner. So I like this story, bro.
so
Yeah,
you
that's the
mean to
truth.
tell me it was just his story that made you because you were one of his biggest fans until you start really messing with Crawford people over there. Yeah, you my brother, Dreeko, but I'm keeping it
Yeah.
100. Now all of a
Well,
sudden you on
you
here.
know,
Now
you
all
know
of a
what
sudden you
made,
on here,
but
huh?
you know
Hey,
what made me flip.
Fox,
You know,
let me find out that nigga Dreeko dick ride, no homo.
you know what
Dreeko,
made me switch. You know
what
what?
God
You
made
know
you?
damn
what
it,
it is.
man.
You know what
But
it
I'm
is.
saying, but okay. Even if you saying it's something else that turned you off by him that made you switch, right? But like I said, how did you become a big fan? You can't tell me that it was just
Well,
because his story. No, you knew that
I,
nigga was trill in the ring. You knew when
I,
he went to the ring, he was fucking shit up, right? You like what you seen in the ring. Keep it 100,
yeah,
Drico.
yeah. I didn't pay too much attention to Bud at the time. So then when I started
Man,
paying attention to Bud, I'm like, because I did my homework. I said, okay, let me see what's up with this Bud character.
Fox,
Draco,
capping.
Draco. You were watching every Bud fight, every Spence fight. You knew exactly
I
what
wasn't
Bud
on.
was. Come on,
I wasn't up on Bud like that. I was up on Spence because I heard about Spence and the
Hey,
sparring.
Dreeko,
all right. Well,
So
Dreeko, I got.
I'm
so
gonna say this, man.
Hey,
I
everything.
wasn't on Spence. I mean, I
No,
wasn't
I
up
got a
on
message for
TC.
Dreeko.
I mean, I wasn't up on TC when he came out when he had the
There's a
dreads.
lot of
I got
a lot of
a message
caps
for Dreeko.
on here, boy.
Hey,
Man,
Kwame,
they don't
God
even
damn,
know.
man, y'all.
They don't
Dreeko, I
even
got a
Man,
know.
message.
y'all.
Listen, the
Dreeko, I got a
reason.
message for
Listen,
you. You want
okay,
to hear
this
it?
is it right
Oh,
here. This is it right here. I heard TC. I mean, I heard TC and Earl Spence on the phone. I heard um um what's your boy name? Spence capping. I heard him capping on the phone. When I heard that, being a real dude, I could respect him from being a real dude perspective. So I said, damn, TC is kind of skillful. He is kind of, you know what I mean? Like, damn, because I had been checking him out because he hit the radar. So I said, shit, this it. So personally,
So
I don't dig
flip flop all
uh
the way.
Yeah, personally, it's personal with me and Earl.
Okay,
Cause I
Okay,
okay.
heard him.
but so you admitting that all that shit you talk about is his slow and he flat and
But
the
listen,
skills, it ain't the skills, it's some personal shit with you.
brother,
Because
brother,
it couldn't
brother,
have been the skills because you wouldn't have been a big
brother,
fan like you was because you was one of his biggest fans,
brother.
Dreeko, until you started fucking with the
I'm
Crawfords.
listen, brother.
And that's
I'm
the truth.
sorry to hurt y'all feelings, brother. I'm sorry. I apologize for hurt y'all feelings, brother. But skills
Well,
pay the bills. You understand me?
Hey,
And what my opinion is, or
no.
whatever side I'm
I,
on, ain't gonna determine
I,
the outcome of the fight.
okay.
our skills pay the bills. Our
Hold,
skills pay the bills. And Marcus Brown had the better skills this past Saturday and still got chopped over.
Who?
mm.
You heard what I said?
We talking about Bud and Spence. We talking about Frankenstein
You
against float like a butterfly and sting like a bee.
I mean,
God damn.
all right, bro.
That's
Benji,
what
All
we
right. Look,
talking about.
the
one
dude,
thing I do know, I know you and Corey should be best friends.
That is my best friend. That's your
But both
best
you niggas
friend. You
flip
fuck with
flop.
him. Y'all
Both
go
you
back
niggas
and
flip
forth.
flop.
I lay the law down. That's the
Both you
difference.
niggas. Hey, Dreeko, get off the internet with that. That nigga said you lying, so don't do that. Listen,
Bro, don't
listen.
do that, bro. Don't do that.
I'm
Don't
keeping
do
it.
that.
You the one mentioned it.
I
You
know, but
said
this
that. I
ain't the
didn't say that.
platform. This ain't the
I
platform
said,
for that though,
I
bro.
said you and him
Yeah.
flip flopping.
Hey, this ain't that though, bro. Don't do that. It ain't. I ain't flip flop nothing. I ain't flip flop nothing. I put work
Kia
in out here,
said
bro.
you was an Earl Spence fan, now you're a Crawford
Hey,
fan. Ray was an Earl
yeah,
Spence fan, now he a Crawford fan.
yeah. I mean, but what that got to do with the outcome of the fight, though?
Okay, so let's talk about the fight real quick, right?
What
Terrence
that got
Crawford
to do
versus
with
Bud
TC
Crawford.
whipping his ass?
Hold on, cause I want to say something about that too, because I heard what my other man said, and I heard what y'all been saying. Now, I finally got to see Terrence Crawford in the ring against an elite welterweight, right? Even though he had one foot right out of the sport already, he already
Don't
said
do
he
that.
already had was going to retire, right? But we got to see that, so I'm gonna give Terrence Crawford his credit for that. Now, Terrence Crawford to me was losing the fight, but he was able to turn up and do what he, you know what I'm saying, and Kenny Porter threw the towel in, but he turned up on Bud. We all seen that. Now, do you think that if he losing the fight against Errol Spence, he gonna be able to turn up like he did on Sean Porter against Errol Spence? Come on,
You
bro.
asking? You asking me?
You really think that? You think he gonna be able to
I
go in the
listen,
corner and hear that he losing and turn up on
Ke-
Errol Spence and get him up
Keon,
out of there? Man, hell no.
Keon.
Errol Spence gonna run over that dude like a Mack truck.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't think Earl got an answer for TC. I honestly think it's a wash. I got TC stopping Earl.
TC has problems with any fighter that he get in there that can box a little bit, that got a good jab. You don't see that?
No,
Sean
I
Porter,
So
see.
you,
I
Sean
so
see
you,
Porter,
you
7
don't.
Sean
years,
Porter had his success with that jab. Once he stopped jabbing,
bro.
that was the
I see
issue.
7 years of knockouts, bro. That's what I see,
So you didn't see him getting touched up by Kell Brook. You didn't see him getting touched up by Sean Porter. You didn't see none of that.
bro. What I mean, Kell Brook is a boxer, right? Right?
You ain't seen none of that, right?
Okay, no. Kell Brook is a boxer, right? So Kell Brook uses angles and everything, right? So
Will
when we
you
talking about Earl, let's put this in perspective. Earl is going to be there to get hit, bro. He's
will
going
you
to
Bro,
guys
be.
get
He
what you
has
talking
no.
about?
Draco and
Bro,
Keon?
I can bring up foot.
Ke-
Earl used a whole lot of angles. What are you talking about, bro?
No, he don't,
hey,
bro. No, he don't.
Hey,
What you
when
mean?
you
Dreeko,
guys
Earl
get
don't?
done,
don't know
when
nothing
you
about
guys get
boxing,
done,
bro.
I'll
Dreeko
jump in.
don't know nothing about boxing.
Bro, Earl don't use no angles, bro. It sound
Man, you
good.
didn't
Yes, he
lost your
does.
damn
It
mind,
sound
bro.
good.
You lost,
It
bro.
sound
You didn't
good.
lost your damn mind, bro. You didn't lost your mind. You didn't
Oh,
lost
what
your
are you
damn mind,
watching?
Hey,
man.
Draco, let you mind if I
Go
step
ahead.
in real quick,
Go
good
ahead,
sir?
bro. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Keon, what's going on, brother? Okay, so
What's happening with you, my dude?
just chilling. So I am one of the guys that has blood by stoppage, but I'm gonna explain why. Okay. Number one, you are right. Spence does use angles, and me and Kwame touched on this. That Spence is one of the few guys that can actually box in motion coming forward
Someone
and
got a
cut the
lot
ring
of
off at the
feedback in
same.
the background.
Yeah, someone's got some paper or
I
something. I
don't
don't
know
know
what
what's
they
going
doing.
on.
Yeah, I was on mute, so it ain't me.
But Spence does have the unique ability to cut the ring off while in motion. Usually, people will posture and position themselves in front of you and then work off of that. He's a little more mobile, I think, than we give him credit for. But where I think Crawford edges him out angle wise is his use of lateral movement. If you watch the Danny Garcia fight and the Lamont Peterson fight, I think those were probably the two best examples to show how Spence can be fast on the balls of his feet, but it's coming forward. I think the major problem that Spence is going to have, and there's two. Number one, while people say he fights off the back foot, what he really does is he goes into the high guard, moves backwards, resets, and then refires. Terrence Crawford will take advantage of that because he can counter while moving forward. And Terrence Crawford offers resistance while moving backwards in motion. That's unique. That's something that I right now at 147, I've only seen him and Boots do so far. It doesn't mean no one else can do it. Now, Earl can use pull counters, but Crawford can actually generate knockout power while moving backwards at an angle. So that's a little bit awkward, right? And I'd have to, we have to see how Spence deals with that, because we also have to keep in mind, and I brought this example up, Triple G has had a punishing body attack and a very piston-like jab and good fundamentals and was just overall a powerful fighter. But when he went up against Canelo, he couldn't mount a sustained body attack because Canelo is more of a counterpuncher. So had Triple G had committed himself to a sustained body attack after the jab, he would have took a lot of punishment on the inside from a shorter, sharper Canelo. But Crawford, yeah, he may be a half inch shorter than Spence, but he's also got a 2-inch reach advantage. And he's good at gauging distance. Now, I see Spence taking advantage of the fact that Crawford leaves his hand extended for like probably the first 2.5 to 3 rounds, exiting exchanges. He will get caught with a counter left, and he will get caught with Spence's jab initially until he finally gauges the distance and starts pivoting and using the lateral movement on the inside and keeping Spence at the edge of his counterattack with that 2-inch reach advantage. I think, like I said, I think it's a great fight. I don't think it's a wash. I just think it doesn't go to distance because those guys are both game-bred dogs. And like I touched on earlier, if you look at punch power, Spence is a stronger, more domineering fighter from a physicality perspective. But when you talk about one punch crack you out power, you're talking about a guy in Bud Crawford that literally lands and throws 30% less than Spence and sparks people out on their feet. That, I mean, we'd have to be blind to not notice that, right? Nonetheless, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and it's not irrational for people to think that Spence can beat him because they're both, in my opinion, 1A and 1B. I just think I've seen a little bit more tools from Crawford, and I think Spence is a terrific fighter, but I think the small amount of flaws that Spence does possess, like the lack of head movement and keeping his head on a straight line of trajectory, kind of plays into Terrence Crawford's counterpunching ability. When you have someone that's got a slight reach advantage, everything counts at that elite of a level.
Well, let me ask you this. You don't see how Terrence Crawford pulls straight back when you aggressive, but you said the first 2 rounds, he does that the whole fight. If you aggressive on Terrence Crawford, he pulls straight back with his hands out. And another thing about his fighting on the back foot, if you watch Terrence Crawford, he does the same thing all the time. He tries to catch you with the check hook. That's what he does when he's fighting on his back foot. You know what I'm saying? Porter was just getting wild and coming in with his fucking hands down and getting caught with uppercuts. And Terrence Crawford was standing his ground. And catching Porter coming in wild. When Terrence Crawford's on the back foot, he do the same shit all the time. Go watch it. Go watch it.
Now hold on.
And he can't fight inside. He cannot fight inside. And Errol Spence will punish him inside. But go ahead.
Well, hold on.
He's gonna cut him off. Earl is gonna cut the ring off. He can't use lateral movement. Is Earl?
Earl couldn't even cut off Mikey, bro. Stop it.
He didn't even try to cut off Mikey.
Stop.
Now hold on.
Stop it.
They both of them.
Mikey wasn't even moving.
both of them have good rebuttals. Okay, and I have a rebuttal to their rebuttals. All right. Now, it may seem like Crawford does the same thing, but I can tell you right now, watching the Felix Diaz fight, the Jeff Horn fight, the Lundy fight, the Benavidez fight, the check hook is only designated for opponents who come forward in a certain manner. If you watch the Horn fight, yeah, he occasionally used the check hook, but there are a lot of uppercuts and other weird hybrid punches thrown as well at weird angles. Now, does that mean that Spence can't cut off the ring? No, it doesn't. But at that point, you're right. Crawford can be hurt and wobbled, but now we get to see what happens when Spence actually faces a real puncher. Because I'm going to tell you right now, while Crawford may not have faced anyone that hits as hard as Spence, the same holds true for Spence. No one at that weight class that Spence has faced is going to hit him as hard as Bud does. And that's when we see it.
Danny Garcia can crack.
No. Absolutely. Listen, absolutely fucking not. Danny Garcia.
Hey, hold on, y'all. One at a time. One at a time.
Listen, all right. Danny Garcia. Okay. Tell me the last outside of Amir Khan, okay, and outside of Brandon Rios' washed up ass, the last knockdown or knockout that he had that was significant at 147. I'll wait.
Who has Crawford knocked out? Crawford ain't knocked nobody out.
Crawford, what's Crawford's KO ratio at 147? Well,
Who he knocked out?
I'm asking a simple question. If we go look at Crawford's box rec, what's his KO percentage at 147?
No. Listen, what I call knockout and what box rec call knockout is two different things.
Okay, in that case, then the same thing could be said for Earl. Who did he knock out his last three opponents?
No. Hold on. When has Crawford ever put somebody to sleep? I can tell you when Earl put somebody to sleep.
Who, Ocampo?
No. He folded Ocampo. He didn't put Ocampo to sleep. He hit him with
Who's
a body
the last
shot.
guy Earl put to sleep?
Bundu.
Okay.
Who the last guy Crawford put to sleep? Nobody.
Yeah, because they won't let him. They keep saving these fucking guys. They should let him beat him to death. I get sick of these refs, man. If these refs let him continue, these guys will be stretched the fuck out and on their way to the hospital. Let's be honest here, all right? These refs get trigger happy and jump right into
the Porter fight. I believe Porter would have went all 12.
Porter was going to sleep, bro. Come on. Go watch the replay when they shot it from a dip. Listen, when you saw him when he was on spaghetti arms, struggling to get up to his knees and wiggling his knees, yeah, he was going to fucking sleep.
Up, how many times people listen? Goddamn, Cambosos did the same thing and still got up and won. Make it make sense.
Adrian Broner got.
Yeah, but did Cambosos get dropped twice in the same round within 30 seconds of one another?
The only reason Porter got dropped is because, like everything boxing said, the man was lunging in with wide hooks. I could have knocked Porter out.
It doesn't matter who could have knocked him out. That's not the point, man. The point is,
you don't have to go back and forth when you got the facts. You argue.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you would have done or what I would have done or what anyone would have done.
Hold on. He's not speaking no facts because he said that he would have got stopped. That didn't happen. That's not a fact.
He got stopped.
Yeah, he did get stopped.
Talking about to sleep stop, Dreeko.
Now we got criteria. Okay.
Okay.
Well, the brother said fight too early. He would have been stressed out. That's what the brother said.
And he's right. I did say that, so I'll own it. You're absolutely right. That is opinionated. But I can tell you right now, his dad knew he was going to sleep. So his dad made sure to jump in there and save his wife.
Hold on, sir. Hold on, my brother. So let me ask you a question. How you feel about Kenny Porter saying that if my son would have trained the way he trained for Earl Spence, he would have beat Crawford? How you feel about that?
I think Kenny Porter's full of shit.
Oh, now you full of shit. All right, bet.
What do it matter? What do that matter? Porter got
this is why I'm going to say that, okay? Sean Porter went. Oh, no, wait. Sean Porter went on his own podcast after the fight. And what did he say? I saw a video clip with Derek James, and, he made a comment and said, I wasn't the same fighter when I got in there with Terrence Crawford that I was when I went in there with Earl Spence, and that, he got a lesser version of Sean Porter. But I have to disagree with that. I actually did prepare for the fight. I did come ready. But I got to be honest. Terrence was just better than me. And, a lot of people don't know with Terrence, a lot of it's mental. Who said that?
My
You know
brother.
that you know
Yeah,
what
know
Who
his
some
said
dad
that?
said
inside.
was a you know
I
what
know
his
some
So
dad said.
inside
somebody,
stuff.
now hold on.
Okay,
So that means,
I
so
know
that
some
means,
inside stuff that y'all don't know, and I can't talk about it.
there's
He trust me.
somebody.
He didn't,
Well, hold on, T. You gotta let Blu-ray
Oh,
respond.
yeah,
You
yeah, my
spoke,
bad, my
and
bad.
you keep on
no, I'm
talking.
just saying I know some inside information that I can't talk about
Okay,
that substantiates what his daddy said. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh,
okay.
I'm
Well,
gonna tell,
he
I'm
should
gonna
have
Well,
tell
got
y'all
well,
some shit.
well.
Hold
Guess
on,
what?
hold on.
I don't know. I don't know
I'm,
if this is what I don't know if this is what Blu-ray is talking about. But I'm just gonna start the rumor mill anyway. I heard that Sean Porter was
Here
knocked
we
out.
go.
I heard Sean Porter was knocked out by Montana Love in sparring by a credible source. I don't know if that's
What,
what Blu-ray talk about.
man?
Uh,
well,
uh,
I'm gonna tell y'all something from that I know. So I talked to Kenny Porter at the Wilder fight, right? And because I always talk to Kenny Porter every time we see each other. So I said, what's up, Kenny? I'm talking to him, and I said, man, I said, man, I bet on I said I bet on y'all. I said I bet on y'all in this Crawford fight, dog.
Mhm.
And we was talking, we were having a cool conversation. And when I told him that, he looked at me and he stopped. I'm gonna tell y'all, he looked at me and he stopped. He said, you bet on Sean? And I said, yeah. And he like his mouth, he just like froze for a second and he just switched the subject.
mm,
Dead serious. The nigga froze for a second and he changed the subject. He said, you bet on Sean? And I said, yeah. And he just froze for a second and then switched it. So I didn't really think none of it at the time. But now that I look back and then I hear all the shit that he was saying and what he did, that shit wasn't right. That Kenny Porter knew some shit.
mm.
And he told y'all, I already knew I was gonna stop the fight before the fight even started.
Look,
That's
Oh,
I
man.
listen. I respect everyone's opinion, and I thought this might be a record for me. I have to agree. I have to agree with Dreeko.
Thank you,
None of
bro.
that matter. Nigga lost, man. Whatever.
Period.
However it was, he lost. He got stopped. The towel was start. Whatever the case is. Now, I would just want to move past that part and just talk about like the matchup and what you see with these guys fighting or whatever. But I don't respect Sean Porter. I like in regards to how the fight was stopped, and then also in regards to how he brought the dude on his podcast 2 days later after that shit
yeah.
happened. It just kind of seemed like some real beta shit to me. Just to be honest, which I felt like Kenny Porter projected his own fears of Terrence Crawford on his son.
Yep.
That's what I feel like. At that time they squared up in the alleyway or whatever. I think he might have remembered that shit and threw the towel in, or whatever the case may be. But look, he was in that position. You know, Crawford put Porter in the position to even beat. You know what I'm saying? Like he put him in that position. So hey, it is what it is. However it happened, it happened. That's cool. That's great. But on the flip side of that, uh, Dreeko was stating how he feel like it's a wash. T is saying how he feel like Bud is gonna wash. Well, he didn't say wash, but he's gonna stop him. Late in the fight, he's gonna stop Earl Spence. I want to hear what Blu-ray has to say in regards to why he believes Earl Spence is going to beat Terrence Crawford, and do you believe he's going to stop Terrence Crawford in the fight, and why?
I believe he's better skilled. He has a better IQ. He has more experience Olympically. He's seen every style that you could think of. He's fought internationally all over the world. So there's not a style he hasn't seen. So people thinking that Terrence Crawford is going to present Earl something that he's never seen, you have to be out your mind. You just have to be out your mind. Earl has way more power. He's better, has better defense. He's not chinny at all. Let's be honest. He's not chinny. Go back and look at Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia landed flush punches on Earl, and Earl still wasn't faded on no level, and that was after the car wreck.
That's fact.
So I'm just, in my opinion, and then not only that, based on all the heavyweights, light heavyweights, and world champions I've seen Earl Spence fought with my own two eyes. That man ain't never touched the canvas ever. And y'all talking about he gonna get stopped? Man, quit playing.
What about
breakdown?
Same thing about Porter.
Excellent breakdown. I tell you what,
You ain't never seen Porter. You ain't never seen. Now, listen, I'm talking about what I seen with my own eyes. I've been in camp for years watching the man break ribs. Come on, man. Terrence Crawford ain't got a chance, my brother. It's gonna be a good fight, but I'm telling you, Earl gonna come out victorious. Period.
We just seen ribs broke before. We seen Diego Corrales break ribs, didn't we?
I seen
We're
Keon.
talking Bud.
And you seen Earl. I mean, you seen
Talking about Bud.
what Mayweather beat his ass, didn't you? Same thing
We're
here.
talking
That
about
rib
Bud.
breaking
Man,
don't mean
Mayweather
nothing,
didn't
bro.
put. Man, you already, man. Listen, I can't even speak on that, man. But quit playing. You know, boy.
That ain't
Boy,
nothing gonna happen here, bro. That's not gonna happen.
bro,
Ain't no
hey,
nothing
hey,
gonna
Blu-ray,
know
happen
what
here.
happened.
excuse
Ask
me,
Floyd what happened.
excuse me.
I'm gonna ask Keon real quick because Keon made some really good points in regards to like Buzz style. Because a lot of stuff Keon said I agree with in terms of what he does off the back foot, in terms of throwing that check right hook, and stuff with defense and all that. So I like to hear Keon's breakdown based off his analysis of what he sees out of both fighters.
I mean, first of all, we know that Bud Crawford, he had, and I agree with my man about Errol Spence fighting off the back foot. You know what I'm saying? He do sometimes he don't transition from offense to defense as well as I think he should. Sometimes off the back foot he'll go into the high guard, right? So I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? That's basically that's really the only flaw that Errol Spence, what I'm saying, has that really stick out to me. Now, Terrence Crawford, his defense, you know what I'm saying? When you coming forward on Terrence Crawford and you the aggressor, he pulls straight back. And old boy was talking about Errol Spence don't get his head off the line. Terrence Crawford don't never get his head off the line. He pulls straight back with his arms out, right? He doesn't know how to defend against a good jab. And Errol Spence got one of the best jabs, if not the best jab, at 147 pounds. Also, Terrence Crawford, he can't fight inside. And Errol Spence is going to cut off the ring and he's going to make you fight inside because he's going to dig down to your body, right? Terrence Crawford has never been in there with these different styles like Blu-ray was saying. Errol Spence been fought them all. He's fought all of these different styles. Terrence Crawford has not. And then y'all talking about all his footwork and this and that. Crawford don't use all of that shit no more. When the last time we seen him use all that great, tremendous footwork and moving in the ring? He don't do that no more. He usually try to sit there and bang it out with you. We'll see him trying to, like he was doing, like, subtle turns and things like that. But Errol Spence, he do all of that shit. And it's crazy that Dreeko Bay try to sit up here and say that Errol Spence don't know how to turn. He don't have no type of footwork, bro. You crazy as hell. I don't even know where you getting this shit from, bro.
Bro,
You
you
crazy
seen
as
the
hell.
same fight I seen. You seen Porter spinning him and dipping him. Stop playing.
So they was turning each other. That's what I seen.
Keon,
Now,
one of the things that we didn't acknowledge, the difference between Earl and Crawford. Earl fights 3-minute rounds. Crawford doesn't.
right. Earl fights three, and that's another thing. Earl is relentless. He's not gonna give Terrence Crawford a chance to think and figure you out and do all of that shit, right? And we said that going into the Porter fight. We said that if Porter comes out like a motherfucking rabbit Wolverine on Terrence Crawford gonna have a lot of problems. When Porter did that, Terrence Crawford didn't know what the fuck to do. But Porter wasn't fighting like that. And he said it. He was like, I just didn't fight like I did in the Errol Spence fight. I wasn't, he was like, most fights like that. He's like, I'm on go mode. He's like, I'm on go mode from the time the bell ring. And he said, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. And we seen that. Well, Errol Spence, he's always on go mode. The motherfucker in shape, you know what I'm saying? He sparred 15 rounds easy. So you know what I'm saying? So he's not gonna get he gonna be on Terrence Crawford. Plus he got a lot more power than Sean Porter. He go to the body way. I'm talking about we all see his body attack. That's gonna give Terrence Crawford a whole bunch of problems right there alone. And then what Terrence Crawford gonna do when he pressing and he start cutting off the ring and he's just relentless on him. And then, like I said, the jab. When have we ever seen Terrence Crawford be able to defend against a guy with a good jab?
Would he knock Kell Brook out?
I've seen it a few times, but I'll wait for you to get done with your assessment and then.
Like I said, Terrence Crawford has a lot of holes in his game, more so defensively. He has a lot of defensive holes. Now, offensive wise, Terrence Crawford, he has a great offensive arsenal. You know what I'm saying? He do a lot of things I like a lot offensive wise, right? He's rangy, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you let him, keep you at range and on the outside, right? He has great timing. He gonna catch you coming in and pick you apart. But Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence is a much, much different fight than Sean Porter. Like I said, if y'all seen Sean Porter give Terrence Crawford a problem, y'all don't want, trust me, you do not want Spence to get in the ring with Terrence Crawford. I'm telling you, if you seen Sean Porter give him a problem, y'all don't want Spence to get in there with him, especially Spence that is going through his strength and conditioning program that's really, really on his shit, because y'all keep bringing that the Porter shit up. He beat Porter looking like a shell of himself. Just remember that. The man didn't even have, he wasn't strong. You could tell when he fought Porter and Mikey Garcia, he wasn't strong like that. You know what I'm saying? He had just regular physical strength, but he didn't have that extra shit. Like when any of y'all work out. If any of y'all work out, if any of y'all work out, right? Okay, you work out. I know Blue Ray.
I work out. I work out all four.
Yeah, I work out too, right?
Yeah.
And so if you take, let's say, I'm gonna say Spence, he probably took, because I had seen him before then. I seen him walking around at 190 some pounds easily before the Porter fight. So you take, let's see, he had did strength and conditioning for the Mikey Garcia fight. So you take, let's say, a year and a half. Let's just say a year and a half without doing no strength and conditioning. And then, right, or let's just say you go off a year and a half without lifting weights. You ain't did no weight lifting for a year and a half. You know what I'm saying? And then you go back and you get up under that bench, you get up under that squat rack. Are you finna be as strong as you was when you was fucking working out beast mode every day?
I can absolutely answer that. It's the answer is no. And Keon, I want to say something here, man. I absolutely agree with you. And that you actually make a really good point that leads into another point. If he went 3 fights and he wasn't consistent, he had better start now with Blu-ray, with Ugas, and then allow it to carry on over. Because if he waits too late to get back with him, we all know, you and me both work out, consistency and repetition is key. If you're not maintaining it consistently, you're no matter what, you're going to have to be playing catch up at some point. And I'm going to be honest, I don't want to see that. I want Spence with Blu-ray. Like, you guys are all making some really good points about Spence, but like I said, from what I'm seeing, man, a part of me, and was I ever a pro fighter? No, I was an amateur fighter. So I can't say, that I'm some professional analyst or professional boxer. But from my years in different fighting styles and from what I'm seeing, maybe I'm seeing it wrong, and I'm okay with that, but I know what I believe, and I just believe as far as versatility and consistency and discipline and maintaining that throughout your career, because that's important. He essentially took 3 fights off. basically, is what I'm hearing. And it happens sometimes. I'm not sliding Spence for it. It's hard, like we always say, it's hard when you're waking up in silk sheets, you know. And he reached, the pinnacle of his career very quickly, and sometimes that can derail you. So I want him with Blu-ray because I absolutely think that's when we're going to get the best version of him against Crawford, because we all know Crawford stays consistent, he stays sharp, and I have seen Crawford in situations where offensively he's being pressed and it brings out a different side of him. So while you make good points about the jab and about Spence having one of the best in the business, I honestly believe that footwork and proper angle placement can negate a jab. And we're talking about a counterpuncher. We can't, like I said, man, with this type of a fight, I don't think either guy goes in there and washes either guy. A stoppage doesn't mean a wash. Look how close the Porter Crawford fight was. Even though Porter got stopped, it doesn't mean he got demolished. So I don't want people to have this misconception that when I say that, based off of what I'm seeing, that I think he's just going to go in there and just fuck Spence up and Spence won't be able to do anything to him. Just like I don't think Spence is going to do that to Crawford. If that were the case, it wouldn't be a mega fight. It'd be a mismatch.
Right. Right.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So guys, I'm gonna pass it over to Goon so he can say his piece. He wanted to host here on the show, but he ain't said too much. So I'm gonna let him go ahead and speak his piece real quick, and then we gonna go ahead and close it out. We've been on here for about 3 hours and 19 minutes, and we definitely appreciate everyone in the chat and everyone in the panel. It's been a great show. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand it off to you, Goon, real quick, and then we're gonna go ahead and close it on out.
For sure, I don't got nothing, man. I'm just ready to see the fights, man. Whether we gotta have Ugas fight Spence, which I wanted to get the fight to happen, or whether we have fucking Bud fight Boots to kill the time to that happen. I'd rather get the fight that we want to see. That's all I got.
Perfect. All right, so we got 49 people in here. Uh I'll go ahead and let Blu-ray go ahead and promote his panel, I mean his platform, because he does more than just boxing on his platform. So Blu-ray, go ahead and tell them where they can find you and what kind of content you putting out.
Dreek caught a body. Damn,
Caught a
Dreek.
body.
You didn't kill Blu-ray,
He on
bro.
he on mute. Maybe he's not. Yeah, he on mute. I don't know if he knows he's on mute.
Oh,
Oh, Dreek got him.
Or maybe he stepped off. All right, Keon, go ahead and let everyone know where they can find you. I'm pretty sure they know, but go ahead and let them know anyway.
Ah man, enjoyed being on the panel with y'all. And Dreeko already know, man. I'm going straight at Dreeko every time I hop on the panel. That's my brother. That's my brother. But Dreeko be going hard on Aerospace, man. But man, and my boy Go, everybody on the panel. Hey, man. Um, yeah, man. And my other man, he was making some good points, so I had to agree with a lot of shit he was saying.
T.
Good boxing talk. Yeah, Teeth, man. Good boxing talk. And I just want to make the fight. I don't want Crawford to sit around and wait for what's his name? Thurman. I don't want him to sit around and wait for Thurman because I think that's gonna mess up the Spence fight if he sit around and wait. Whatever he gotta do, get a fight in between, or shit, if or just sit and wait for Errol Spence, whatever you want to do, but don't mess that money up. Don't mess that bag up. Make the fight happen. Y'all can find me on everything boxing and sports every day at 1:30 Mountain Time, right? That's 12:30 on the Pacific. That's 2:30 Central, and that's 3:30 on the East Coast.
Salute.
Appreciate you having me on the panel.
Always,
For sure,
brother.
bro.
Always. And Bibbs, go ahead and let them know where they can find you as well.
Oh, you can find me here on YouTube at TBibbs100 and on Facebook, Maurice Bibbs.
Boxing debate with the Goon.
And
Yes.
boxing debate with the Goon.
All
That,
right.
that's it. That's the one. When we on here.
Perfect. And Dreeko, go ahead. If you got any last closing words or remarks.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks to everybody. Shout out to the panel. I don't take none of it personal. In the chat or on the panel, these all our brothers. We passionate about the sport, and that's just what it is. So don't take none of what we saying personal, because we each and every last one of these brothers. We talk on the phone, and shit, we support y'all, and y'all got to support us, and we appreciate the support that y'all give us, man. And keeping it a buck with Dreeko coming in the beginning of the year.
On the
So
way.
y'all
On
tune
the
in
way. On the way.
Yes,
on the
sir.
way.
Yes, sir. All right, man.
That's
Well,
gonna that's
salute.
gonna be the worst podcast ever.
Oh,
Oh, you found he
you
found his
alive.
voice.
You was
You gonna be the
alive.
first subscriber. You gonna be the first subscriber.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Y'all get a
You
fucking
was
trip, man.
alive, bro.
Yeah, salute to the chat, man. J Rob, Bumpy Thompson, Zenith. Oh, also Karan Johnson as well. He been in, as well. He in here. Salute to you. We appreciate you coming in here as well. We got Black Boxing King. Salute to you, J Rod. Zenith 360.
Jay
Vincent.
Smith,
Uh,
was it
Leonard.
Leonardo?
Uh, Raw 1980. That's a great year. That's the year I was born. Jeremy Dixon. Just everyone. Brandon Mack. Everyone. Salute to all you guys. We definitely appreciate you. You guys in the chat. Bumpy Thompson. All the regulars who's been in here. Grindhouse Sports Nation. Everyone, man. We definitely appreciate you guys. We'll let you know when we got another live stream coming out. Stay loyal to the game, and we out of here.
Wait, hold on. You said, nigga, you older than me.
Yeah,
You were
I'm
born.
old.
You a year
Yeah,
older than me.
yeah,
I
man.
didn't. I thought I was older. I thought I was the oldest
Yeah,
cat on the panel.
I'm the fucking old
No,
head,
hell
man. I'm the
no.
old head, man. I'm the old
I'm
head
the
on the
old
low.
head.
Oh yeah.
I'm the
yes,
Oh,
OG,
okay,
yes,
OG, bro.
sir. Yes, sir.
okay,
All
yeah.
right, all right, brother. Stay loyal to the game. We out of here. Have a good one.